Hello, everybody. This is Paul Whitehead at the Mechanics Institute, the oldest chess club in the United States. There's nowhere else I'd rather be right now, and joined here by MI Chess Room Director Abel Telamentis, and you'll be able to see our smiling faces in a few seconds.
If we're still smiling.
This is round 2 of the Tuesday night marathon, and we're going to be going over those games and taunting the players that are playing, and as well as hopefully talking to the personalities that are involved. So without further ado, here we go. And welcome everybody.
Hello, everyone.
Downtown San Francisco.
Live from
downtown San Francisco. While we wait for these games to heat up, do you want to tell us you were in Orlando?
Yeah.
Or should we go straight to the U.S. Open in Orlando?
Yeah, so I was in Orlando. I had to miss the big simul that happened last Wednesday, which was an absolutely amazing event.
It was an amazing event. Mamedov just came in here and
just put on a show. I mean,
it was horrible for
an exhibition. And actually, the beauty of it is I was in Orlando and I was able to watch beginning to end, so I watched the broadcast. And
how did we do?
It was an outstanding simul.
And yeah.
I encourage everyone, if you want to watch a dramatic simul, go to YouTube, hit Mechanics Chess. You'll be able to find that simul
and subscribe.
And it was high drama because towards the end, there was some tension there, especially when it got to the last two games where,
we had a player who missed a win in time trouble.
Yeah, it was like a clear win. And
clock simul.
Yeah, it was just a terrific show, so people should check it out. But
especially if you like a bloodbath, we got torn apart. The Mechanics Institute, we lost 26-0.
Yeah, and I was kind of hoping we can squeeze a point, but I mean, the opposition had, a grandmaster, an international master, a FIDE master, a national master.
Yeah.
About 10 people that were like 18, 1900, 2000.
We gave them our best shot, but came up short.
Yeah. That was an amazing show. But yeah, so I was in... Yeah.
Nick and I locked the doors so that they couldn't get at us.
So it's like being in a steel cage. They were locked in the steel cage.
That's all. And Judith Starry ran the event just incredibly.
Yeah,
well.
She's amazing.
Ridiculous.
I mean, she's an absolute pro. She's been there, done that when it comes to these events, and I mean, and she's organized events with those two players before too. So yeah, she did an amazing job. It just looked great on the TV following, and we adjusted camera angles so you caught a lot of like in-game drama. And
we're going to experiment with some camera angles here too. We've got as you'll see actually in this broadcast, we're focusing down on the top two boards so you can see them sweat.
And actually, speaking of Judith Starry, viewers can look up on top. She's playing on one of the boards.
Is she?
Yeah. She's
right
there's
her ponytail right in front of us.
Right. So she jumped into a game because one of our club players' opponent didn't show up. So she's jumping in.
Wow.
Playing an extra rated game, but so I was at the U.S. Open, and one thing that's interesting about that whole experience. So I'm a USCF delegate from Northern California. I won't get into the, each state has a number of delegates assigned based on, the membership and the players and what have you. And Judith and I are both one of the 7 delegates from Northern California.
Wow. Okay. Very cool.
And Balaji.
Hi, Balaji.
Saying, hey, how's it going? Thanks for joining the broadcast.
Yeah.
I'm about to talk about that. He's saying, how was the U.S. Open? From the political side of the U.S. Open, one of the fascinating things about it, where a lot of stuff actually happens, is in the committee meetings that happen. So there are different committees that are part of the USCF governance. So I'm a member of the clubs committee, and there are various committees, ethics and development, and there's all kinds of stuff happening. But
and what committee do you specifically?
I'm on the clubs committee. And the outreach. But the clubs committee, it was just fascinating because we're talking about how we can engage other clubs and how as a club we can do more to promote chess.
Right. That's a very difficult thing to promote chess. I mean, it's a wide open question.
Hey, Laura. Yeah. Our events director, Laura Shepard, is checking us out.
Oh, right. Laura.
Peeking in.
She joined us.
You were great on the broadcast. Last week I watched it. Yeah.
All right. I'll be joining you next week.
Fantastic.
Thank you, Laura.
It's recorded.
We
it's
have
on
to
air.
put your name down here. We have to get Juan to put your name.
Yeah, you can have your own name.
You have your own.
So, one person that was in the room was Jeff Bullington, and now he was on a 60-minute special a few years back because he started a chess club in rural Mississippi. Okay. And
I think I've heard of this guy.
So, and he actually developed a program. He had an anonymous donor kind of support and sponsor this program over several years with the goal that it would take time to develop it.
Sure.
And he's had absolutely amazing success. So we talked after, and we're trying to see how we can do some kind of partnership, because one of the questions he asked is, things like, what we're doing with the streaming and getting community engagement through Twitch and DGT is fantastic, but how does this apply to, rural Mississippi? How can we get...
Well, they could, to my view, it's anything is possible. And kids will love this technology.
Yeah.
I mean, this is just suited for them.
Yeah, and
lights, camera, action.
And it's the thing. It's like, if we can get these boards and play, we could, leverage the technology we have to, interact, to kind of, talk to each other, look at each other, play a game and just learn about each other. So, we're looking to do some collaboration there, and we talked to some other people, some other clubs, and I've heard that there's some other rising clubs. I know there was someone from Alaska that they got recognized by the U.S. Chess Federation as they're the state federation. They're the state affiliate,
and they came all the way down from Alaska to Florida. That was a nice little vacation for them.
Yeah, it was, to get recognized. So they were excited, right? And I actually ran into him in a coffee line the next day, and I told him congratulations. And I said, hey, let's congratulations, and your club in Alaska. Reach out to us and see maybe we can do some club versus club, So those are the kinds of things that I think have a lot of value, that are sort of behind the scenes, but these are the kind of things and the relationships you can make there that can have a lasting impression, because you're interacting with people that you may never see except for that one time where everybody comes together.
Right.
There at the U.S. Open. It was in Orlando, Florida, and I must say it was incredibly hot and humid over there. It was not pleasant walking outside.
I had a similar experience at a U.S. Open in Phoenix in 1978. And that was like the hottest I've ever been in a town. I think it was 125 degrees once outside at noon, and it was like, oh my gosh, why did they hold these U.S. Opens at these hot spots?
You could just like literally feel it. Like it was just in the air. It was like you almost see like, just
right.
It was a physical manifestation of misery. It was just terrible.
Did you see any alligators? Or lizards or anything like that?
Actually, so I was like walking around outside. There was like a pool area where we were, And I'm just sitting down randomly, and I noticed something like running around really quick by my feet, and I look down, and these little lizards are just like running around, and I'm like, what?
Were they playing 5-minute chess or something?
No, they weren't playing chess; they were just running around. But yeah, these little lizards just running around. I'm like, it's a different place.
Yeah.
But no, it was fun. And then kind of the big news there is that the winner of the U.S. Open, clear first, Ilya Nizhnik, he's actually going to play here at the Mechanics Institute.
Wow.
In our next Rapid on August 26th.
He's going to play in a Rapid event on August 26th.
Here, yeah,
I might try to jump in and get clobbered.
So he's playing the Monday Night Rapids August 26th. He's actually doing a simul in the afternoon here,
right?
Like for fun, and he's doing a lecture at 5:30.
Okay.
And then he's playing in our 4-round Monday Night Rapids. So if you want to take your shot at the U.S. Open champ,
how fun is that?
He'll be here.
How many board simul is he going to play?
We haven't determined that. I mean,
we should hit him with 70 boards. Wear him out.
We're gonna put a 70 board simul in a 40 board room. So,
right. Yeah.
But so
force him to jog into the other room.
The other big news, and I'm hoping after she plays her game, she'll come and talk about it. Is Judith actually got appointed to the Scholastic Council.
Okay.
For U.S. Chess, and that's actually a major position, because there's a Scholastic committee that oversees, like the Scholastic Chess, the K8 championship, K12 championship.
Well,
but among that committee, there's a council of 7 that really represent the USCF. Mm-hmm. So do they set policy? Policy, and they go out to like the big, K Scholastic events, and I mean, they're very influential and powerful with regards to scholastic policy. So there was a member that had stepped down, and because Judith was the runner-up vote getter in the last election, they asked her, and then so she was made official. So she's on the Scholastic Council. So that's a huge win for the Mechanics Institute, just in having a representative like that in that position, because it is a pretty prestigious
we just
position.
got transitioned.
I think I hit something.
That was great.
So
that's okay. We'll transition back.
Yeah.
This is our chess room, and
there we go. So back, yeah. So yeah. So that was kind of the big news, but I was very happy to come back and feel the cold weather and
cooler.
The cooler weather.
It's been for sure. Beautiful here.
And so that was kind of the news of the last week. But,
okay.
But it was a lot of fun watching the broadcast and watching the coverage of the simul.
That was, like I said, it was like, Nick said it was like watching 2 leopards, sort of trap a bunch of goats or something like that.
Just rip them apart.
Yeah, it was horrible.
But they did say that they love their experience here, and just seeing the history. And
the first time that Mamedyarov had ever been to the Mechanics Institute Chess Club, certainly, and he seemed surprised that Capablanca had played here, and this is there's a lot of history here. We'll keep reminding everybody of it.
Yeah. So that was it. I just wanted to give a plug too that this weekend we have the Bernardo Smith Memorial. So it's
a tournament at the Mechanics this weekend.
2-day, 2 rounds each day. G90. It'll be FIDE rated.
Okay.
It's for under 2,200 players.
Amateur tournament.
Amateur. So you want some long time control FIDE rated chess under 2,200? Mechanics is the place to be. All right, we have Indiana.
Indiana.
Perfect. So
hello.
That's kind of the happenings here.
And so, okay, I guess that's all I have to. I don't have much more to ask, or this place is just rolling along.
And just kind of one of the things I kind of wanted to convey and talk about, because I was kind of like proud of this, is when I went over there were a lot. I just kind of learned that a lot of people are watching the broadcast. They're following.
And are they saying, what is with this guy, Paul? Why
this guy with the crazy hair?
They don't even get him off. This whole thing would be so much better if you could just know.
No, I mean, you're...
people are enjoying it, huh?
Yeah, they're watching. We're just spreading it. It's helping because people are telling other people about it. Yeah, they're hearing of what we're doing, which is kind of exciting. And I'm asking, what do you like? What don't you like? What can you do better? But they're loving the show. They're loving the broadcast, and it's just exciting to see that people are watching. I mean, the worst thing is that nobody would care, right? But,
yeah. My girlfriend cares. She likes watching.
She's gonna care regardless. I mean, you fail, she's gonna care. So, but yeah. So that was kind of a cool thing.
That is a cool thing that people are noticing this.
So we have Gaziz walking in. Is your game over?
Yeah, I was going to say I'm going from the
10? Yeah, I'll put you down.
So can I transfer my funds to the next tournament, or it's gonna?
I'll talk to you about that. Yeah. Actually, give me a minute. Just hold on. I'll be right there.
Okay.
Because it's.
Do we have a question from somebody here that says we should consider adding some information about the chess club below the stream? And somebody's saying we have a nice stream setup. Okay, like let's see, you're right, we're the oldest chess club in the United States. We've been around here since, I guess we could have a ticker tape or something, or
we could. I don't know how. Would that be distracting if we?
No, I can.
Or something.
The things that used to appear.
Yeah, well, you're right. People want to know about the Mechanics Institute. You can definitely go to chessclub.org, and actually, I'm going to transition this. Boom, there we are. Chessclub.org. You find out a lot more about the Mechanics Institute.
And even that shot right there. There's a whole other side of the room that's filled with action, and then there's another room that's. Filled with players playing. So we've actually filled up that other room today, which is interesting because I wasn't expecting that.
And I'll open the door behind me. There's a door behind me.
Annex.
You can see, and there's our chess room annex. I'm going to do that right now because
there's players playing over there.
Yeah.
And So what's up, Buttercup? And. Although the noise action isn't there.
If it gets loud, I'll.
You can see all the pictures in the other room, and so this is kind of the Skittles annex.
Historic pictures of people who have played the mechanics. We have had so many famous chess players here. World champions Capablanca, Tall, Spassky, Petrosian.
You played Tall Blitz here, right?
Oh no, that's gonna be the whole thing. Oh no.
Hey, there's nothing wrong. That's a big moment.
Yeah, okay, but I've milked it to death.
The inside joke here is that Paul always loves to drop the fact that he played Tall Blitz here, and it beat him, right?
No.
Where'd you draw?
I drew one game out of 3 that we played in a big Blitz tournament here, and I finished 3rd behind Walter Brown, Mikhail Tal, and then it was me 3rd and Richard Lobo 4th. There's some. If you're interested, you can go to our newsletter and go look through our newsletters at all kinds of. We have 880 newsletters that are just jam-packed with Mechanics Institute photographs, history. It was started by John Donaldson, International Master John Donaldson, who was our chess room director before Abel. And Abel has expanded it and stretched it, its meaning and its uses since then, and since taking over. And
I was actually in the archives today. So tournament director John McCumsky stopped by to visit earlier. Judith and I here, and he's a chess historian, loves chess history. And one of the things he wanted to see the archives. So we took him down there
into the stacks.
And Diane was there, our archivist.
Oh great! Did you bring her that thing? Or
I took her. I took it down.
Okay, good.
And So
She gave you a little
for Carrie
tour.
Lawless out there, Diane has the materials. So,
Okay.
yeah. So we were just looking through the historical items, the
and-
papers, the pictures, and I actually had her show me the mechanic set.
Oh yeah.
That's in there. So I verify that the one that I have at home, the replica, the Staunton,
Right.
does look exactly like the ones
Sure. Yeah.
that were from there. So it's kind of cool just to see just the history.
And there's a picture on our wall, and you can find it also on our website in different places, and if maybe even just by Googling it, of Capablanca playing at the club with that chess set, the same one that
right.
you
Is
have.
that one we have on the wall right
Yeah,
now?
it's the one on.
And we were just joking how, like, you know, if you go through all of the papers archives, you never know, you might find a letter Capablanca wrote.
right.
You know,
It's
you just never
possible,
know.
I guess, yeah.
So yeah, no, it was kind of a cool day today. Just
Historical place we are
yeah.
in.
No, we're
yeah.
lucky. We're lucky.
Yeah.
We have just
Yeah.
this engagement, this history. So.
And a lot of that's on the newsletter, and with all kinds of current and past information. We have the games of the players and all of the games that we can recover from the tournament that you're looking at right now, the Tuesday Night Marathon. Those games are put up on our website. There's Nick DeFermian writes a column about this world champion. Now he's working on a world champion series. Abel talks about his experiences with
Current stuff.
with all kinds of stuff involving tournament directing and organizing and the rules of chess. And I get on my soapbox and take a trip down memory lane, and when I pounded so and so all over the chessboard.
And, yeah, and I know want to get back to the action, the games, but before I go, just kind of want to give a couple of shout outs. Want to wish Berkeley Chess School luck. They're going to run a women's norm tournament this
Wow.
weekend.
Okay.
So good luck to them in doing that. That'll be great for women's chess.
Yeah.
I want to give a little shout out to Sophia Road, Kimberly
Road.
Dew McVeigh, Robin Ramsey from Washington D.C. We were hanging out, Martha Underwood and Michelle from Arizona. Had a lot of fun talking to good people in U.S. chess, and they're fun to hang out with, and wish them luck and all their stuff. So I'll let you get back to the games, and then
I'll start in on the games.
All
All
right,
right,
thanks.
thanks Abel. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's a little loud. Okay, and well, it's a chess club, so we've got loud things going on. How do I find Abel's name here? I get stuck here sometimes. Show me where to go. It's the two camera scene I want, and then transition. Right, I find Abel, and up at the top probably. And there he is. Okay, and transition. Abel's gone. And now we're going to look at the games that are going on right now in the second round of the Tuesday Night Marathon. And we're going to go all the way up to the top board, Stearman versus Ivanov. But while we're doing that, I'm going to come down here and we're going to actually look at, is this host webcam or mobile camera?
This is roll cam.
No, but the one that I want.
Mobile.
Mobile camera. Boom.
Turn off the other one.
Oh, I forgot to do that.
The roll cam.
Okay, room cam off.
Transition.
There we go. Okay, what we are looking at here is Hosea Stearman with his baseball cap, and he's playing Alexander Ivanov. And I'm going to take a look at their game. I'm going to go all the way back to the beginning and see if I can make sense of this for you folks back home. Alex gets mated, says thank you, Abel. All right. So Ivanov is white, and he's a strong expert / master. Hosea Stearman is a FIDE master and an up-and-coming junior chess player. He was in the chess camp here. He's a ferocious, ambitious chess player, and is definitely the favorite in this game, outranking his opponent by probably a good 200, maybe 200 rating points, or at least 150 rating points. He is the second-ranked player in the tournament. I think the first-ranked player in the tournament is Kyron Griffith, who took a bye in the first round, and we'll look at his games too. He's got 2450 FIDE master with an IM norm. And let's follow this game. And we're seeing, okay, so we've got a Slav and a quick exchange on d5 and bishops before knights. And we're probably in the book here. And I don't see that White has played in any way to challenge.
Judith was on a DGT board, she's telling the guy. Where's Judith at the DGT board, she's telling me.
A little bit of a slow move, h6.
I know she can broadcast the world.
I think Black has full equality here. And White's making a feint towards the king's side, but there's not much that he can probably do with that. The best White can probably get out of this position is the two bishops. This is just not, or try to play f3 and e4. Not much going on here, folks. I'm going to go skip to the next game, which is the strongest 11-year-old chess player in the country, Eric Lee, a master, and he's playing Michael Lin, who's a young player, not quite 11 years old, in his 20s, I think, and he's a strong expert. So this could be an interesting battle. Michael Lin has, I think, beaten some pretty good players in this tournament in the past. So we're going to see how this plays out. And we have Black playing a against the Catalan is playing a Chigorin setup here with knight c6, which is kind of interesting. Why not? I mean, it's a valid way to play. And we have this. And openings are not my strong point, folks. So if you want to jump in and, I'm good for telling you all when somebody hangs a piece and why didn't he take it. But when it comes to the niceties of the opening, I'm not so great. So gosh knows if this is theory or not. I suspect it's not theory at this point. And Black's playing ambitiously and White's playing conservatively, but is yet to regain his pawn. b5 is a good idea, maybe. We'll see. That stopped it, and White plays knight e5, and b5, knight takes c6, ba4, knight d8, king d8. That does not look great for Black at all. So I'm not sure what Black would do necessarily in this position. He simply castles. So White has the problem of the d pawn as well here, and somehow all this little trickery and moving around might not be so bad for Black. Black can certainly play knight takes c6 here, and then with the idea of playing b5, and if white plays bishop takes c6, bc6, knight c4, there's some tactics here. Queen d4 is possible. Let's not forget that if knight takes c6, bishop takes c6, bc6, the pawn at b2 is hanging as well. So, not clear what is exactly going, but it seems pretty clear that black should probably take with the knight. I think taking with the pawn, white probably just plays something like rook fd1, or maybe even queen to d1, and then knight takes c4. And that looks pretty safe, and white will be left with a good structure. I think knight takes c6 looks a little more aggressive. Okay, we're going to move on here. We don't know. We have the youngster Ethan Boldy versus the experienced women's FIDE master Natalia Sodikova. She's also been a national, I think she's been a national master, if not very close to it. And she's also a great commentator here. We'd love to see her out at the club.
Okay.
In the analysis room. So here is Ethan
Getting crashed.
playing the white side of a King's Indian with c5 and bishop g4.
Yeah.
This is an old-fashioned system for black that's can be dangerous.
Yeah, see. It's correct here.
And this is
Yeah.
certainly black has a decent game here with control of g4. Very thematic kind of a position.
And that's the only one we can broadcast because it doesn't have the analysis.
Going back a little bit, let's go back a little bit. This kind of old-fashioned c5 move, inviting white to play d5 with the Benoni. And again, black deviates instead of playing cd4 with a kind of a Maroczy-Bine Sicilian dragon position. This is played. And again, these kind of King's Indian ideas rather than straightforward Benoni structures with black taking on d4. White takes on c5, and what happens now is that black gets control of d4, and then we're left with where we left off here, with I think black having a comfortable game. Okay, moving on to Kevin Kuchek, who's an expert, I'm pretty sure, maybe even a strong expert. He's been doing very well. No, he's an A player, and he's playing a 2450 player, Conor Griffith, who has taken the Tuesday night and taken all the Mechanics Institute chess tournaments by storm. He's lost only one game, I think, out of two Tuesday night marathons, as well as some other tournaments here at the club. He's been pretty strong, and he's definitely the player to beat in this tournament. Judith,
Yes.
who is behind me, how did you do in your game?
I won.
Congratulations, Judith.
Yeah.
Judith, are you leaving early today?
I don't know. We'll see.
You don't know. Are you going to sit down with me for a second and
Yeah.
talk about whatever you're going to... Well, Abel just told me this incredible news about you, but I've got to put your name up here so that we know.
What?
Everybody out here knows who you are. There you are. And I'm going to transition that so your name appears. And...
I can answer that. G25. It's 2
Oh,
hours.
it's this.
Game in 2 hours with 5-second delay. That's the time control.
time control for this event. I was going to get around to that too.
Yeah. Hello from Indiana. Wow. Now it's...
Yeah. It's getting very relaxed in here. Actually, I've noticed it. Have you noticed that, Abel? Like this whole thing is running more smoothly,
Oh, yeah.
and
Yeah.
getting more. We're all
Right.
getting confident about what we're doing.
Yeah.
Dangerous confidence.
Yeah.
So Judith,
It's clear.
I knew you ran this incredible event,
Yeah, it looks good.
the Mammadgerov Simul,
Yeah, it was fun.
and now you're helping run the Tuesday Night Marathon. And what happened while you were here in San Francisco? Something was happening in Florida that affected you. What was that? What happened?
Well, there's two changes
Two
in my volunteering status for USCF.
Okay.
One is that I'm now a member of the U.S. Chess Scholastic Council, which
And that
is
sounds significant. Yeah.
yeah. So basically, the Scholastic Committee is consists of 30 plus members
Okay.
representing the scholastic chess community across the country, and that committee has 6 or 7 members council
Mm-hmm.
that basically discusses more frequently the issues, work on things, and the council members are heading subcommittees.
Right.
And I know a lot of people in that.
And you're setting policy.
Yeah, so
for the Chess
and
Federation.
more like reviewing policy or
Okay.
setting when there's no policy, reviewing policies, representing the council. Bruce.
People are so
Hi,
nice.
Bruce.
They say
Yeah.
hi to us.
Representing the council at major national events and things like that.
Right.
So Sunil, I can't pronounce his last name.
Weirmantre.
Yeah.
All right.
Nakamura's dad is
Right.
one of the co-chairs of that council, and Beatrice Marinello, who she
Right.
visited our club
Right.
not too long ago.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. And the other change is that I'm very happy to announce that the accessibility committee vice chair, I relayed the torch or handed over, or I'm very happy that my good friend Martha Underwood
Okay.
is now the vice chair of that committee.
Okay.
So I'm no longer the vice chair. I stayed on the committee. I'm committed to help them and work with them.
Right.
but
Right.
Martha is a good friend of mine, and she deserved this position a lot more than I do.
Okay.
And so go to US Chess website or US Chess's Facebook feed, because there's a really nice podcast with her that was posted today, and it was very fun to listen to
Interviewed
Martha.
by Dan Lucas,
Dan
the
Lucas,
communications.
yeah.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Director.
nice.
They have a podcast. I think it's a monthly podcast. I think.
I think John Donaldson got interviewed on that
Yeah.
podcast. Are you going to get interviewed soon on
They
that?
haven't asked me yet. Actually, Judith's been interviewed on one of. It wasn't his.
It-
No, it was
no.
Perpetual podcast.
It was
Okay.
Pepper Show
Perpetual
podcast. Yeah.
yeah.
Interesting. Podcast.
You and I.
Yeah.
I don't know
we were
much
far
about
away from it.
podcasting.
Well, it's
yeah.
basically like
this
this,
is
just
this,
without
yeah.
video.
Perpetual chess,
Perpetual
somebody
chess.
Yeah,
says.
perpetual
Very
chess,
interesting.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know much about chess podcasting. I mean, never.
It's
I think
basically
you're
like
sort of
this.
doing it like. I
It's
think
more concentrated. You have to prepare a lot of questions.
Right, right.
It's like
and be
Q&A.
prepared to answer
Q&A.
them.
Yes, and then answer
Right.
them.
Here we can just goof off and
Yes.
just
Chess
have our
podcasts are
mouths
great,
hanging
yes.
open and not know what to say.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Interesting, yeah, because it's just all you do is hear the person,
Yeah.
so you better keep talking, and it
You
better
can
make
listen to
sense. And
Yeah.
and
But it's a
Yeah.
very so
But on the-
everyone should go to US
You just
Chess's
can't
website
interact.
and or on Facebook, and they posted there. It's a very fun 30 minutes with Martha, and then you learn a lot about how you can become involved with US Chess, how you can start volunteering and start becoming a tournament director and things like that. So
So on top
Fantastic.
of all this great news, Judith won her game.
yes,
I know. Congratulations.
thank you. It's not often that I win, but
She's on a roll.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, is there anything else? You're working on our newsletter. You're running the tournaments. What else is going on that you're excited about coming up here at the Mechanics? Or
Well, it's the busiest time to actually start the enrichment year. So I'm busy setting up all the classes for the fall. We have around 15 or 20 free school classes So mechanics gets donations, and
Right.
and based on or using those donations, we can go and offer free chess classes to schools in the San Francisco Unified School District.
Right.
So this is
Fantastic.
amazing, and it's a true testament of the nonprofit status that mechanics holds,
Okay.
and it's really good. So I'm in charge of that now, overseeing
Yeah,
and,
yeah, I
and
know,
assigning
that's-
coaches, and
Right.
we do recruit schools that we offer chess as a fee-based program.
Right.
So parents are paying dollars for us to educate their kids.
Right.
Yeah.
And spreading the world, spreading chess throughout the Bay Area and beyond. It's
Yeah.
amazing. And we're reaching out all over the world with this broadcast, and
Yeah. So
trying
if you
to
want to
bring people
sponsor
in.
a class, it's probably cost around $2,500 for a whole semester
for
to
semester.
sponsor a class.
Okay.
And you can make a difference in many kids' lives.
Yeah, yeah.
So if you want to interested in how to donate, just go to our website, mechanics, and I think there's a donation button, and
There you go.
there's this, or email us.
Chessclub.org.
Yeah.
Wow. Or email us at
Is it a good plug?
chessroom at milibrary.org.
Yeah.
We're gonna have next week, I think, Laura Shepard, our events manager, she was on briefly before, but
Nice,
she
yeah.
wants to regularly come on and
Wow,
start
that's
talking.
so great.
I think it is great. I think
and she's in Tuesday evenings,
yeah,
right?
she's in on Tuesday
Sounds
evenings.
good.
The chess club is where the Mechanics Institute Chess Club exists within a larger organization, the Mechanics
Yeah.
Institute, the Mechanics Institute, which is a library, chess room, events,
Yeah.
a nonprofit,
writers,
writers.
seminars, and reading. It's really a lot of.
Yeah, there's some
events.
rented office space here and a couple of retail outlets below. So we're
Yeah.
kind of like and we're right in downtown San Francisco. It's come visit us when you come to San Francisco and see all that we have to offer. It's something. Yeah, and
I
a
had
great
a
chess
chance-
book collection.
I had a chance to talk with the new executive director,
Okay.
Kimberly, and one of the things that we discussed is how the different departments, the events and the chess library and all these different events and chess can integrate.
Right.
So because we would like our regular library members to know about chess and,
Sure.
and learn about, so I told her we would love to come to these events and just say a few words about chess room and spread a few flyers, and vice versa. How can our chess players who are not library members learn a little bit more about the library and maybe
And vice versa.
inclined to
both ways,
become library members and enjoy.
People join
So-
the Mechanics Institute Chess Club and not realize that they are also joining the library.
Well,
And
yeah.
and it goes the other way too. People join the library and don't realize that. I meet people coming up here. Wow, I joined the library and there's a whole chess club up here.
Yes.
Can I sit down and play a game? And I'm like, yeah, this is your chess club.
Yes.
You can do that.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting. There needs to be a little bit more like we're in this together.
Yeah,
we're doing things
integration,
together.
yeah.
Yeah, integration. So it's part of that is where I think we have a great advantage is the chess books. There's chess books are.
Oh my God.
We have, as you look behind us, this is just like a drop in the bucket with the
Yes.
amount of chess books that are circling around, and so. Anyway, I'm a little involved with that. I love chess books, and yeah.
And so whatever you keep up in the library, and I just had a chance today to go down in the archives.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Because we had a special visitor, Joe McComsky, visited us from Sacramento,
Right.
and we showed him the archives. Oh my God, it's a lot of chess material that
Abel was
Yeah.
talking about that
Yeah.
too. Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's really a true researcher who would be interested in this. It's really
Some very
a
old and
a gem.
valuable stuff there.
Yeah.
Some
very good.
incredible old signatures on some old papers and
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
there's a lot of history here, and you can see that. I've said it already in this broadcast, but in the newsletters, stretching back years and years, started by John Donaldson and continued now by Abel. There's a lot of history there,
Yeah.
a lot of history to
Yeah.
uncover. We're still working to always put that history up on our website. For example, I want to make a gallery of photographs
Yeah.
on our right on the front page of our website. We should have a historical gallery of
Yes.
photographs.
Yeah.
Of course, we have to identify who all these people are.
Yeah.
So there's a constant work in progress here of a rich history behind us and an amazing future in
Yeah.
front of us.
And that's what makes
Um,
this place so special.
I think,
because
I think so
it's a
too.
really good combination of history.
And you're somebody who makes this place special, Jude.
Well, it's a teamwork. It's an
It's
amazing teamwork.
It's good teamwork.
Yeah.
Well, thanks. Do you want to look at some games?
Yes.
Now that your games
Yes.
is okay, so I'm gonna
With
go.
my very limited chess.
That's okay.
knowledge.
Are we still able to interact with these DGT boards? No. Let's go. Click on the DGT board, and then go right-click on it. Excuse me, everybody. Interact. Here we go.
Nice.
Excuse me. And let's keep going down. Actually, we didn't look at the Kyron Griffith game, Kevin Kuchek, Kyron Griffith game. Let's go to that. Kuchek is an A player, X/expert, and Kyron Griffith's 2450. So, and we're getting a closed Sicilian. This sort of mini Grand Prix attack with Bishop C4. Black is ready to play D5 and sort of take the wind out of Black's sails a little bit. But this is the way White wants to play. This is kind of hoping to play Queen H4 and F5 with a lightning fast attack on the Black side there. But you know what? Kyron Griffith is one thing we've noticed. He's ambitious.
Yes.
And not only that, he's very well prepared, and you're not going to catch him in the opening very easily. So Black is ready to play Knight takes B3.
Is it still opening line?
I don't know. Knight takes B3.
Wow, they've moved a lot
Yeah.
already.
And to my mind, Black already has a great game with the two bishops, and
Yeah, very solid.
no problems at all that White has been able to set Black. And this is a kind of an aggressive looking. This is all very aggressive looking, but and that's an interesting choice for Black to play a pawn to F5 when it looks to me like Knight to F5 might be an alternative here, and maybe a little safer.
Is he trying to avoid the double pawns?
Well, if Knight takes F5, Bishop takes F5. Now White is threatening F5 to push F5 here because he could maybe finish up with Bishop H6. You know, maybe F5, Knight F5, Knight F5, Bishop F5, and then sacrifice. Rook takes F5, G takes F5, and Bishop to H6. But Black could still play Queen F6 there. So I don't know. This is just analysis off the top of my head. But Black plays F5, and that creates a weakness down the E file with and White returns to bring the knight to E5, and Black plays D4. And maybe coming back here a little bit, maybe White could have played the rook over to E1 right away instead of bringing the knight back to F3. But okay, so the knight's just running out into air there. Bishop B7, Rook E1, Rook E8, Knight A3 to redeploy, and Black is certainly powerfully placed there, but this E5 square is a little worrisome. But it
Look
has
at
to
that
be
pawn
said,
structure.
black has a very nice game here,
Yeah.
without a doubt. He can play on the queen side, b5 maybe, but white's playing, okay, so knight e5. Black's well centralized, but white's still solid. All right, we'll move on.
So what do you predict next move by Chiron? Is he gonna take it with the knight? No, right?
Maybe knight takes knight. If pawn takes knight, then maybe rook to e6 and try to double the rooks and win that pawn.
Mhm.
That could happen. In any case, a lot of exchanges could happen on e5, and then black tries to double up on the pawn. It's not so easy. It's not so easy. But black has pressure. All right. I'm not convinced that black is winning. All right, this is Kristen Jensen, white versus. I haven't even gotten through the games.
Yeah.
One
So the black
pass.
player, Jivan, he's new in town.
Okay, tell
he
us
moved
about
here from University of Virginia.
UVA.
yes.
I should talk to him
Well,
because
I think I have a sense he's graduated and he just got a job here.
Okay,
So-
I want to talk to him.
Okay.
Because both of my daughters live in
Oh,
Charlottesville,
okay.
Virginia,
Okay.
and
Sounds good.
and I know that town very well.
Okay.
Very well.
We had
So-
some email exchange, so that's why I know.
That's great.
He's very excited to join the
chess club.
community here. He knows Darwin Lee.
Okay.
By the way, we are working with Darwin to start young professional chess hour, or chess hour for young professionals.
Okay.
It will be Thursday evenings.
Okay.
Last half an hour will overlap with your class,
Okay.
and it's gonna
Is
be.
it going to be here at the club?
Well, I don't know.
Sure.
We'll see where it
Sure.
is.
I don't mind.
We'll
Yeah.
find place, right?
What did she commit us to?
The young
sh-
professional
the
chess
young
hours.
Oh yeah.
Right,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
gonna last half an hour. Will
Yeah.
over.
That's fine. They
Little
can
mingling.
come in and make fun of my.
Well, we're gonna have wine and cheese.
Oh, that'll be nice. I'll be able to eat on my way out.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, so Javon knows
Bruce-
Darwin, and so I'm expecting him to come.
Bruce Ricard
Yeah.
noted that they can hear you whisper. He says we can hear you whisper, Abel. So, sometimes we forget that we're in a room with a microphone, and
And we're whispering because we're actually trying to not interrupt, you guys.
But actually, so I was playing right here on the
Uh-huh.
other side. You can a
You
little
can
bit
cut-
here.
No, that's when we're talking regular, like we're like
Like here,
interviewing.
yeah.
well, we
but
should
yeah,
we
the
should be
broadcast.
careful to keep it down a little
So
bit.
I don't know. Maybe we should like
Insulate the
towels
door.
around the door.
Yeah.
That's what I told you, we need to.
Up here around the door.
The things on the wall.
Maybe a little bit of
Soundproof,
insulation.
Either that, or,
Interesting.
And it's
or we
easy
can,
if we can buy it at
Yeah.
Home Depot.
or you can just not be loud. I mean, that's another-
Well, but no, even if we talk,
Well,
so
it's a-
Jackie's there with her earplugs.
we can. Okay.
She won today against Albert Starr.
Really?
Oh,
She
good.
already won?
She won.
Interesting.
Okay, she was right
Interesting.
next to me.
That's a
We were,
huge upset.
yeah,
Pretty big. Albert has his ups and downs. Yeah.
yeah. And I got his email.
Good.
It's personal victory.
Egg boxes put up on the wall. I've heard they work too. That's like a cheap, you can
Oh, 'cause it
put
reads your
egg
Uh-huh.
cartons.
Yeah, but
On
the
the wall.
insulation of this door is pretty bad, so I think
Right.
it's actually leaking out under it.
I don't know much about sound.
Me neither.
Yeah.
So. It should though.
Okay, so I want to talk to Jivan.
Yeah. So let
at
me
some
try
point.
to monitor the game, and if they finish,
Okay.
we can. It would be actually. Can you change the camera to the room view or
I
not?
think I can. Let me see. I'm going to try to
He's
do
on
that.
board 5.
Let's see. I'm going to do my best.
So
First, I'm going to turn off the what
is Andy monitoring the other stream?
what
He's playing.
is it? Which Juan? Are we on the mobile camera here?
Room cam, right?
Yeah, we are.
So,
So
if you
what I do
change
is
it, unclick it.
I unclick that, then I click that, and then transition. Watch what happens.
Wow.
And I knew it without even looking at the preview. It's pretty.
You're a master at this.
I'm
It's good. Okay, so he's playing on the third row here.
Oh, he's playing
in
all the
that-
way up there.
Yeah, on the fifth board, right? So
Okay.
whenever you see that they get up and everything.
Elliot Winslow is playing up there
Yeah.
too. I can see him
He's
with the
on the
suspenders.
Seventh, yeah,
He's
on
wearing
the seventh
suspenders.
board. And then Monsoon is playing Erica on the ninth. You see the Erica with the
Erica
red
with the
hair.
red hair.
And Monsoon
yeah.
is always usually wearing darker t-shirts and everything. But,
Like,
yeah, maybe.
Okay.
But I like Monsoon too.
Yeah, there's some nice people.
Do you want to
around
peek
here.
at that game?
Yeah.
Please, we can jump along.
Okay, yeah, we can jump around. Which game is
It's
that?
the ninth board.
Board 9.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the top board in the AB section,
Yes,
right?
it is.
And let's just play through it quickly. This is the top board in the AB section. Mohammed Mansour versus Erica Malikan. And we have a Queen's Indian. And Erica is a fierce competitor. She always doesn't want to play the higher rated players. But I keep telling her, because you're like, oh, I'm playing
Yeah,
an
and
expert
Monsoon is
or
good.
whatever.
He won last year.
I know he's
right?
good,
So-
but she can play some chess and just needs
Yes.
a bit of a shot of confidence. That's a strange move. I mean, it develops the piece, right? But it doesn't hit anything. So I'm sure White. Okay, so White just leaves the bishop sort of in midair over there. And then develops the knight behind it rather than playing a3. And now this is a little, who knows? Was it good to provoke this move, h6, and go back here? I don't know. So this is where, why didn't White play bishop f4 right away? Because h6 seems like it's kind of a useful move maybe for black. And okay, so knight d5. And now this bishop gets traded for that knight, which certainly must help black.
Yeah.
Queen b3, rook e8, and that's maybe to provide a retreat for the bishop all the way to f8. I like that move. But first came e4, and now Erica is forced to play bishop d2. So maybe if black wanted to keep the two bishops, black should have retreated the bishop right away, because what happens here is that she's forced to play bishop d2, knight d2. If pawn takes knight, bishop takes pawn, attacking the queen, and black would win a pawn. So knight takes, and now that's an odd square. Where's the knight going to go from there? I don't, it looks like it has more life. See, you see, it can't go anywhere. If the knight retreated to maybe f6 or e7, it would have more possibilities. Instead, that's and this move also blocks the c file, knight c7. So I don't like that move. Queen a3 attacks the a pawn, and it seems like Erica is okay. So maybe not time to take it yet. So e5 is played instead. Knight b5. Okay, so the knight finds some life after all. Queen b4, threatening the pawn at d4. Bishop a6, which defends the knight, and White plays rook there. And actually, let's go back. White's almost threatening to win a piece here with queen a4, threatening the bishop. But black can play queen c8. But this move, rook c1,
prevents that.
That's now queen a4 is a huge threat. The black minor pieces are on very odd squares, and it's
Hi, Andy! Congratulations! Andy's
That's right.
daughter was born.
Yeah, that's
Congrats.
a beautiful
Congrats.
picture
I
I
know,
saw
so sweet.
on the internet.
I almost
Facebook.
want to have one more, but no, almost.
You have 3 daughters.
Yes, 3 daughters.
Supposed to go
So
for 4?
Wow.
no,
Wow.
almost. It's very sweet.
It's very,
Very
sweet to have
pictures.
3 daughters.
Well,
yeah.
he has 2 now, so
I
one
have-
more and then.
I have 2 daughters.
Oh, all the kids are asleep. Well, you should come over and play them.
Yeah, take Bart over here and play a game, Andy.
For
Yeah.
babysitting.
But thanks
So-
for joining us.
So Andy Lee is a regular at the Tuesday night marathons, right?
Andy says he lured her to bed by showing her a chess book. You mean you knocked her out by boring her to death? No, I'm just kidding.
And he has 2 daughters, and one was the younger one just born.
They're
I think like 4.
He has 2 daughters
He has
as
2
well.
daughters, Dana and maybe Luna. And
A book on the exchange Slav. Yeah, that's true. And every other game I'm looking at is an exchange Slav. It's horrible. What is going on in the chess world? Bobby Fischer's
Helen
turning.
is the new one. Sorry about it.
Bobby Fischer's
So
turning
Dana
over in
and
his
Helen.
grave with these just exchange.
Yeah.
So
Anyway.
Andy Lee, I have 2. It was a book about Judith Polgar. Oh,
Yeah, she does.
yeah, chess heroes. That's
Never
a good
too
chess
early.
hero.
And Judith
I,
is a good hero. Yeah, that's a
Very
little
true.
book. That's actually a. Do you know the Chess Heroes? Is a little
No.
book. I know I have that. I'll bring it to you.
Yeah, I want
It's
to
a
see
very.
it.
Good.
We should maybe order it for the library if we don't have it.
Well, I'll bring it in and you judge
Yeah,
if
yeah.
that's a good book. to
Because
order.
we have a children's section of life. Is it a children's book?
No, but it's a small, entertaining book, I think. But let me check it.
I want to
Okay.
see it, of course.
I
yeah.
might have gotten it at Hungary. So
Um,
anyway, so
Well,
Erica's
yeah.
not good.
thanks for joining us, Andy. Okay, so Erica is put Bishop F1.
Oh, my God.
This is looking grim almost, and it's this odd placement, insecure placement. Rook C7 now wins up 2 pieces for Rook, and he sees it. Mansour sees it.
1, 2.
Rook takes. If Black played Bishop takes Bishop, it would have even been worse because White would play Rook takes Rook and be a piece up at the end of that. So Black is forced to play Rook takes Rook, and now Bishop takes Bishop, and now Erica tries Queen G5, but of course White can play F4 here, if need be. Queen G5 doesn't even threaten anything. This is a tough position for Black, but Black has only herself to blame, playing kind of some fishy moves here. Very solid play for White. By White.
Knights are tricky. That knight placement was tricky. We'll
I'd
see.
say Black is close to collapse here. That's a very strong move, infiltrating and attacking the Rook. Notice that the White Bishop might come around and attack that pawn at E6 too. This is tough. Erica's only chance is to play something. Well, if Rook C2, then Bishop B5, threatening that Rook at E8, which would have to move, and then Queen takes E6 check, and everything starts to fall.
But isn't F4 can be a threat? Because then you can just shift the rooks over.
Yeah, maybe Black has to do that, play Rook F7 or something. But White can play 8. White has moves like H3 and Bishop B5. Once that pawn at E6 goes,
Yeah.
let's see what happens in the next couple of moves. It doesn't look good for Black right now, in my humble opinion. Bishop B5 is coming up next move.
Nice.
Bishop B5 is White's next move, and then the Rook is going to have to will not be able to defend that E6 pawn. I don't see him a defense almost.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Bishop B5 is now not. That's okay. But White has tricky moves here, like Bishop C8 maybe. Because if Rook C8, Queen takes E7. Of course, then the Queen could go back to G6. I don't know. What's White for choice? For sure. Okay. All right. And on our final board,
Okay,
board
I will
test-
check on a few boards.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Judith.
And have a good
All right.
time off.
Yeah, I'm
Who's gonna fill in your shoe next week?
Abel's not sure. He said maybe
Kostya? We should ask Kostya? Okay.
Yeah, I think so. That's what he said to me.
Let me text him, and then when I'm around.
I'm sure it'll be somebody great, and
Yeah.
I'll come back and try to fill their shoes too.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, no, nobody can fill your shoes.
Well, my shoes are different. They'll have sand. They'll have sand in them when I come back. All right, Judith is gone. I'll take her name off of the list here, so that you're not confused. And there we are. And we're going to look at the final board, our board 10, and then we're going to really take a close look at some of these games. Yeah, trade a pair. Andy Lee said trade a pair of rooks in this position. Let's go back here. Rook c1 now maybe, and if rook takes c1, queen e7. I think it's just a matter of time before white infiltrates, or finds a way, or it could be that will be what happens. And Andy Lee, I'm glad you're here, because you're and keeping me company and keeping me awake and on my toes. I'm liable to say something really dumb analytically, and I want somebody that can correct my moronic comments. This is the last board. This is our top board under 1600. So we're finding a lot of value in these games too. So David Olson, whose rating is, I'm going to take a look. His rating is 1407, and he's playing Michael Martin, whose rating is 1574, and they both have 1 point out of one game, and they're playing on board 1 of the under 1600 section, which is our board 10. And let's roll through this game, see how it's going. And it's sort of it's an English opening, and white plays bishop out to g5. This exchange is not particularly good for white, and so there's no real threat there. Bishop is outside the pawns, white bishop, so this kind of makes sense. White's threatening knight d5 now, and black wastes a move with the bishop. So if black wanted to be a little more consistent here, he probably should have played g5. I'm going to roll through this moving the same piece twice. That's not bad here. Black castles quickly, and white plays a3. Castles, if white had castled, it would have set up the threat of knight d5. So a3 is a little bit neither here nor there, and black, of course, exchanges and plays b6 to develop that, and that's an interesting. Black has a chance to sort of shatter the pawn structure by playing pawn to e4, and if d takes e4, he could even play g5 and knight takes e4, or maybe play g5 and then e4. But black is pretty comfortable here. White, he wasted time with bishop c5 and bishop b4, but white also wasted time by playing a3, which was unnecessary. Black was probably compelled to take on c3 anyway. And this is a cumbersome way to get out of the pin. But my question is, where's the black knight going? Great, you got out of the pin. But, okay, h3, d5. So if white plays bishop f6 here, let's go back here, then black would have to take with the pawn.
And in that case, they might as well just play g5 anyway.
Right.
Earlier.
Yeah. Taking with the pawn is not bad, though. I think maybe that actually
Then
black's
king H7
position.
or g8.
Yeah, black's position would be pretty solid anyway. Oh, and I'm joined here by let's see, Andy. We call him Andy. I'm going to put your name here. Oh, look, your name is so large.
Yeah.
We forgot to but that's okay.
That's okay.
So, Andrew, let's tell us a little bit about yourself, because people back home don't know exactly who you are. Or people all over the world watching this. So.
Yeah. So I ran a chess school in Wisconsin, International Academy of Chess, and Bay Area Chess, and more importantly, the mechanics brought me out here to come teach, coach, TD, organize. So
Okay.
yeah.
So here you are, and you were coaching a class here at the mechanics.
Yeah, we have a free camp here for kids all week.
Right.
So ages 6 to 18.
Okay,
So.
and you're one of the coaches for that.
Yep.
Okay, welcome aboard. You were here last week as well, and we're glad to have you here. And I need people to keep me awake and keep me sharp. So Andy was saying that D5 is generally bad given that white has the bishops, and that's a very astute comment. The more the game gets opened up, the better the bishops will be. And of course, C4 just gives away that very thing that we were talking about, which is the two bishops. White should maybe just play queen C2 here. And of course, black jumps into C3, and now this exchange occurs, and bishop E7. Black has a nice game. Black could, although we're looking at bishops of opposite colors here too.
Yeah.
So, black could also, again, folks, shatter the white pawn structure a little bit by playing E4.
Yeah, which is just going to give space to that bishop later.
So that E4 might have been a good move. And after bishop E7, well, I guess white doesn't want to play E4. In some way he does, but black could play F5, and it leaves a weak pawn at D3. Yeah. So, yeah, E4 is not a very good move here. Okay, so somebody says, yeah, that's true. If E4, knight D4.
Yeah.
And that's perfectly true. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Andy. Bishop B7, rook B1. All right, so the rook is active there. It's not exactly threatening. Rook takes B6, but I'm being too critical. A6 doesn't seem to do anything. It prevents rook B5, but if rook B5 is not a threat, because black could play A6 then anyway, black could consider expanding on the king side, F5 and G5.
Yeah.
And there's a sort of a ready-made attack here with that bishop at B7. Taking time out to play A6 seems pointless to me. Bishop goes back to G3 and F6. Very solid, but F5 and G5 looked more active. And this is a blunder, obviously. Just losing a pawn, I think, unless that pawn at C7 is hanging. Yep. Another reason why A6 was a horrible move, or a bad move, because now the bishop can come in. If E takes D4, bishop C7, and then a pawn gets lost. I mean, you know, that's if black's pawn was at A7, this would just be a horrible move, D4. Yeah, D4 looks like a good move, and black plays knight there. So, you know, as usual, this is part of the thing of it's hard to predict people's moves. Yeah. ED4, bishop C7. Okay, so knight E7. If black hadn't played A6, this whole D4 move would just completely suck. That's. Can I say that word on TV?
Yeah,
all right.
You can say so.
Really impressive move from the bottom section. Yeah. Okay, so knight E7, and now white doesn't play D takes E5, and I'm not sure why. Maybe if F takes E5, knight takes E5, obviously is very good for white. So what's black going to do? Play bishop F3, then queen F3, F takes E5, and then maybe queen B7 or queen E4. And white looks like he's doing pretty well. Instead, D5, okay, that makes sense too. A very tempting move to shut the bishop out. Queen d6.
Why put it on the
That
same?
does threaten the pawn at a3, so I can't criticize it. a4, a5, fixing the white pawns. Knight d4, taking advantage of the pin. Nice little move, I think. Bishop c8, f3. White's putting all of his pawns on the same color as the bishop, as the black bishop, which is very good strategy here. Queen d8, anticipating knight b5 and threatening. Okay. So I guess black is going to play bishop takes b5, and that's exactly what happens. But this, white's going to develop some pressure down the c file, and that's exactly what happens. Black tries to get some counterplay with f5. White offers the exchange of queens. Pawn takes pawn. Erica, how'd you do? You lost. I'm sorry. Come here and tell us all about it. Yes. Andrew has left, and I'm joined by Erica Malikan, who was playing on the top board of...
Who lost?
Who lost. And she says... Erica says that she lost. I'm looking for your name, Erica, because I'm going to put it in lights. That's not the bottom. The bottom is way below there. Okay, Erica, let's look at your game. And
I've got 13 minutes. Let's do this.
Okay, that's fine. I got to do the DGT boards. Where are you going in 13 minutes? Okay. Interact. Okay. Erica Malikan. And let's go all the way to the. Okay, I'm sorry, but
let's do it. Let's see my mistakes.
Okay, let's look at this. Okay, so it's a Queen's Indian sort of a thing here, and you've got a great position so far. All right, this is the first odd move. I mean, look at that bishop just sitting out there in nowhere's land.
Yeah.
Put it on a more solid square, maybe with bishop e7.
I was hoping he was gonna kick me with a3 or put a knight.
I think a3 is a useful move for him, though.
Is it?
Yeah. Bishop e7, you've got to go back to e7.
I don't have to go back to e7. I was going to go to d6.
Okay. All right. But then you could... Eventually, white could play e4 and e5 if you do that. Where's it going from d6? It's just hitting on g3, right? Okay. I'm trying to educate you into some educate you into some opening stuff here.
But he doesn't do that.
He doesn't do that. Let's see what happens. And he plays bishop g5. So okay, I think I would like, if I was black, I would be like, that's an okay exchange. You play there, he plays there, h6, perfectly fine, hitting that bishop, and he's wasted a little bit of time with this move.
Oh, I haven't done
and now knight g5 hits that bishop, which exchanges for this sort of worthless knight which hasn't even been developed.
I thought he had a better move than taking the knight, though. Because if he had moved this knight back, my bishop is pinned, so go back. Okay. So if he, instead of...
so if he plays knight e1 now,
or does something. So if I exchange, if I take the bishop, he takes the bishop. So I can't take his. I can't take on f4 because I lose a rook.
Right, but you could develop knight c6 or something else, and so what I think white should be thinking about is playing e4 or something.
I mean, okay, yeah, that's fair. He does play that eventually. If he doesn't, if I were to do knight c6. And this knight was gone on f3. Right. Then bishop takes d5, and then e takes d, and then I've got a double.
That's true. I see that.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, white's not even threatening anything with knight e1, really.
Yup.
So it's a little bit unclear, and you could develop maybe knight a6.
Yeah.
So the other thing is back here. So I think you've done a good strategy here, and this is great for black, who's, even though and this queen b3 threatens e4, right?
Yeah.
So I'm thinking maybe you should go back. Black has a good game here. If Black can go back with the bishop to e7, allow White to play e4, and then just go back with the knight f6, and then play a kind of a hedgehog position. But you have the two bishops. You have a very solid game in the two bishops.
Black should have done all of these things.
Okay.
However, Black did not do these things.
Well, I'm going to let's just go. Rook e8. Now e4 compels you to take on d2. Okay? Which is still not the end of the world. But now, Erica, I think you should have gone back to e7 or f6, because knight c7 was a poor play, ended up being a poor place.
Yeah.
This is the start of where things start to go downhill. Is this knight move? The knight has better you've got to move your pieces where they have prospects. Right, the knight. If I look at where the knight can go now, I'm looking at it's like, this doesn't.
Well, I assumed there was gonna be either like a d5 push, or I was gonna go d5, and then my knight is locked in hypothetically.
Well, on e7, it can at least go to c6. You know, c6 is kind of a nice square for that knight where it can go out.
The reason I went c7, well, yeah. Either way, it was a bad move.
Okay, I'm just saying. Okay, so queen a3 attacks this, and maybe threatens to put the queen in on d6.
Right.
But you could just play a6 here.
I didn't do that.
Right. d5. Now the problem with that is you don't want to entomb your own bishop.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dan. We're trying. d5 kind of entombs your own bishop.
Yeah,
See what
but
I'm saying?
thinking bishop then goes to a6 eventually.
Okay, and that's a good point.
It doesn't do.
That's a good point. So e5, White's kind of playing thematically. Now maybe here's where you should have played your bishop a6 move and gotten that bishop out.
I should have done that.
Although, where's the bishop going?
Bishop a6 and then bishop b5, and then I can retreat if need be.
Okay.
But I didn't do that.
Okay.
Knight
b5, and what happens here, Erica, is you start to get your pieces where they can't help each other, and this
go back the knight back. I think the knight to b4 was the bigger mistake out of all the ones I made.
Yeah, knight to b5.
Yeah.
And your opponent is here.
Yeah.
And he's going to give his impression in a minute. But because I know you have to go.
Yeah.
But I'm saying what part of the problem was that your knight just was floating.
Yeah,
It was a floating knight, and after bishop f1, you're going to lose some material. I think there's just no way around you losing material, and you went back to c7, and then rook takes c7 was a natural. You're close to losing this, right?
Don't worry, I really lost it.
Yeah. That bishop at a6 is a monster, which prevents you from doubling rooks on the c file.
Yeah. And then I was
f5. I think this just weakens your position even more. But it's understandable. You're really tied up here. Maybe rook c2 and just seeing what White does, or something like that.
Maybe.
But White's just going to push you back on the king side and expand. White has a lot of prospects here, and you have almost none. And that's part of the problem. You did it to yourself.
I did have a solid game until I messed up myself.
So this is a little more infiltration here, and then this was a move recommended by Andy Lee, FIDE master Andy Lee. Rook c1 to trade rooks and get.
That was a bad move.
f4 on your part.
Well,
your position. I don't think you really have a good move here.
No,
because
I think
the bishop is going to come into d7 probably. Maybe you should play queen g6 and queen f7.
Yeah, I stopped looking at
right
the board
now.
And then
queen g6 and queen f7, but White plays queen takes a7. There's just doesn't seem to be much of a way out. Check. Okay.
Game over.
Yeah, bishop d3 check.
Game
and
over.
This is very efficiently and execution of of the position.
Now that we've all agreed that I've lost this game, can I get off?
Yeah, Erica, you're misplayed the minor pieces.
Yeah.
You pay much a little more attention to those knights and bishops because you're playing good chess, but just not being careful enough.
Yeah, I tend to not like book variations. So
I know what
like
you
getting,
mean.
I like getting
book.
out of book as
Me
quickly
too.
as possible.
But you can get out of book and still play.
That's fair.
Very, very strong chess.
It's fair.
I like getting out of book too. I'm completely on your side with that. But you can play really good moves. So congratulations for a hard-fought game, and Mohammed, you can come and give us your. We've gone over this game a few times, but we'll go over it one more time with your. I'm going to transition your name into this.
Yeah, sure.
Into this.
You mean he doesn't want to be Erica?
It doesn't look good.
No. Okay. Well, I need to learn how to do this, Erica. So.
Wasn't gonna help you. So.
Let's see. Thanks, Erica.
You're welcome.
And your name I know is on here. There you are. And boom. It worked. Look at that. Okay, so you're having another successful. You were the winner of your section.
Yeah,
Pretty
the
soon
last
you're going to have to move.
I just don't want to draw conclusions so early, but just play at the best
You're playing
I can.
good chess.
Thank you.
You're playing solid chess, and you're playing good chess.
Yeah.
So,
Well, first of all, I saw her games and I couldn't find a loss of her. So I was thinking, what do I play against her? So she has never lost. I think even last tournament, there hasn't been much of a loss from her. So
you're winning a lot of games, Erica.
I was thinking she is gonna be very tough. First of all, that was my first impression. So
you played a solid game and took advantage of her mistakes.
A much better game than me.
yeah,
I think
thought
that was part of
I
it.
was just playing. If everything is gonna go equal, I will just go for a draw. Is what I was thinking, because there was no game where I saw her making a mistake like a blunder or something. And she was a d4 player in white, so I thought for d4 she should have a good counterplay with black. So
Okay.
yeah.
Well, we thought Erica got a great game out of the opening, and you made
Right.
some mistakes.
Yeah.
I made the bigger mistakes. All right, good night, guys.
Good night, Erica. So,
Night, guys.
good night, Erica. See you next time. So C3 is a very, it's not, C4 is probably more,
Right. But then if she takes the pawn, I take with the knight, but my bishop loses the.
That's
I have
true.
to exchange my white
So
bishop.
there's different, C3 is fine.
Yeah.
You could also take with the queen, make queen is possible. And black has a hedgehog.
But then again, the
position.
knight comes on f6, and then my
Yeah.
queen has to go back. And
Yeah,
all.
c6,
So
yeah,
I
yeah,
just
yeah.
thought I'll play safely.
Yeah,
and
no,
slowly.
it's fine.
Yeah.
And okay, so this
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah, this
And this
move I
is an
didn't like.
odd move.
Yeah, very odd move. Like
But
I
it's
didn't
not-
like that at all.
It's not that good.
Yeah. I thought of pushing h3 straight away, but then once she goes back,
I think that's a good move. A3 and knight C3.
sorry. a3
and knight C3.
c3. Right.
Maybe
I thought
try
of
to
that.
play E4.
Yeah, but once the knight comes to f6, and then the d5 pawn is being pushed, so a3 bishop to e7 and
Right.
knight to c3.
C3.
Now d5. So
Yeah,
I don't have
and we-
any move here. Like I don't have to push it, or I have to play like.
But you
slowly.
can't stop black from playing D5 anyway.
Yeah. So yeah, that's why I was just trying to pin the knight and then do something out of that e4
Right.
move.
Okay, so bishop G5, and it's also if you leave the piece out in the air, maybe she won't notice if you attack it later,
Yeah.
right? Because like
Right.
it's vulnerable.
Yeah.
But so castle, knight G2. Knight C3
Yeah,
maybe
knight C3 would
also
have been
possible.
better.
Maybe
yeah, because
maybe.
I blocked my own bishop coming back.
Right.
So
And now on H6,
Yeah.
You changed horses in the middle of the stream. Bishop f6 is consistent,
correct.
maybe.
But then I thought knight will not come to d5 because I just wanted to play bishop c4, and I was thinking knight is gonna go to h5 and then I'll put my bishop on e3 and plant it there forever. So that was my initial plan. But then I thought of knight d5 as well. But then I thought it's too awkward for the knight to come in the center of the board in the beginning of the game, and the pawns are all stuck in d7 and all that. D pawn is still stuck there, so
Right.
I thought she'll not play that. So I thought if she plays, I have to take the bishop. I mean, take the knight with the bishop, and because I didn't find any other move, or I had another plan of playing e3, and then if she takes, I take with the g pawn, and then play my knight and bring my queen to g4 square. That was my other plan, but then I was scared to do that for some reason.
It's good to play with the plan.
Yeah.
But okay, so bishop f4. I mean, my argument is that maybe back here you could play bishop f4.
Yeah, that's a good move.
Possible.
Too, right? Yeah.
because
yeah, I have always played that actually.
h6 is a useful move for black.
Right.
Okay, so this happened, and I think black is
okay.
Black is probably okay.
Yeah.
So queen b3, maybe bishop e7.
Yeah.
And then if e4, just knight goes back to f6, and black has two bishops.
Right.
And even though black is, you have a big pawn center or something, black has a pretty good game because
from here on, black should have played a little better. Like knight to f6 could have been a move.
Yeah, bishop e7. I think bishop e7 is correct now.
Oh, sorry.
To keep the two bishops.
Yeah. First save the bishop, and then
save the bishop, and then on e4 play knight back to f6.
Yeah.
And then if say rook e1, just play d6 and play solid, or maybe even play d5 there. I don't know.
Right.
But a solid game. But this is rook e8. This is not a good move because after e4, now white has the center and black has to give up the two bishops.
Yeah.
And this was definitely a mistake.
Yeah.
Black should go back to e7.
Yeah, e7 or even f6.
Or even f6.
Okay.
Either of those moves.
Yeah.
e7 maybe a little more prospects when the knight lands on c6.
Yeah.
Which is where it should go, I think.
Yeah.
Instead, and now white just has a good game.
Yeah.
Maybe the queen can come to d6. I don't know. This is a good move, pressuring the queen side.
I thought
think.
the knight is gonna come to b5, and then I'll go to b4 square, attacking the knight, and again it has to save, and then I push a4 pawn, so the knight goes out, and again I get the d6 square. So she pushed that pawn correctly. But then here I had so many things going on, like whether to take or not to take, or take that pawn. So and finally I just thought of blocking this whole bishop and all that side, so that I can open my bishop to. My initial plan was taking the bishop to f1 and bringing it to d3, so that I get that whole.
This position is good for you.
Yeah. So,
but on the other hand, black should probably play a6 and b.
But all the black's pieces are stuck that side, so I couldn't
the knight
see a way
is
for.
badly misplaced.
It couldn't come out, and the bishop is blocked. Everything is like.
Yeah, knight b5 is just moving the knight, continues to move to bad squares.
Yeah.
And
so I bring next time.
bishop a6, this is going to lose material.
Yeah, knight could have just gone to c7 square instead of putting the bishop over there. And this was a little trick. I had one trick to play, and she was correctly caught.
But there's no way out of this.
This was no way to get out of this one. Like anything you play here is not gonna. Queen d7, queen a4 is again a huge blow.
Or a4.
Yeah.
And if knight c7, rook c7 again.
So here it was a big
no way for black to get out of this, and
but here here if you come back here, I thought black could have played rook c2 and if
bishop d3,
but then a5. I instantly lose my piece.
Oh,
So
yes.
that was a little trick she could have done, because I was thinking of playing bishop d3, but then
So you can just play knight to f3.
right, I could have done, but the rook could have come there, and I would have had some kind of jerk,
A little trouble getting rid of it.
Yeah.
So rook c2, knight f3,
Yeah.
maybe queen c7
Correct.
then,
So
and taking some control.
yeah,
But
I was
then
expecting that
bishop
move.
d3 anyway. Okay.
Yeah, but I can't play bishop d3 unless I control the a5 pawn. So after rook.
But you've moved your knight.
Oh, I have moved my knight. Okay.
Anyway, I think white is just better, and
Yeah.
she hastened her own defeat here by
Yeah.
playing f5, but it was already bad.
Yeah.
And this
I
was a simple finish.
Yeah. Even the queen was trapped here. Actually, h3 was a trap for the queen. So
What?
h3 was a trap
Yeah,
for the
trap
queen.
the
So
queen,
I
yeah.
didn't know which one to do, whether to go for the kill or getting the queen. So I
You
just-
play good chess.
Thanks.
You play good chess. Yeah. And so, and you taking advantage of their mistakes, and that's
Yeah.
one of the. That's all. Sometimes all you have to do is do nothing and wait for people
them to
to.
make the mistake.
And that can be a good way to play if
Yeah.
you avoid giving away things
Yeah.
and you take what's given to you.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
It's a good strategy,
Thanks.
and it works very well here
Yeah.
at in the middle section of the club.
Yeah. Exactly.
Once you get to the higher sections, they're not going to give anything away either.
Yeah.
So you're going to have to
That's
fight a little
different-
hard. Yeah. But a good game. Yeah,
Thank you, Paul. Yeah, it was
sure.
nice
And you're
talking
welcome
again.
to sit here
Oh,
and
sure.
while I go over some of these other
Yep,
games.
definitely.
We're going to go straight up to the top board, which we haven't looked at in a long time. And actually, let's while we're here, we're going to look at the top board, which is we're going to turn off the room cam.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to turn on the mobile camera,
Okay.
and then we're going to transition
Wow. That's a
because
new
we're
addition.
geniuses.
It's a great addition to this video broadcast.
Thank you.
actually.
That's all Juan Centejas over
Oh,
off camera
nice.
over there.
Thank you, guys.
We're watching these titans of the Tuesday night marathon.
Gotta make it like a monster movie.
Yeah.
I mean,
Clash of the Titans.
yeah. I've been watching St. Louis chess and all that. It feels just like the same way. So everywhere it's been like video broadcast. So
Yeah,
it
you're
feels
watching a
really
lot of video broadcasts.
Yeah, I do.
St. Louis is getting close
To us.
to achieving what we
Right.
Well, they've got some good players down there like
Yeah, they have.
Caruana. But what do you think of the broadcast? What do you think of broadcast?
I really love
broadcasts?
this one, and yeah, everything is. I really love the broadcast.
That's because we
well.
put you on the show.
No, not that way. But then I didn't like the World Championship because there was no broadcast for it, because they told to pay some $30 just for the live telecast, which was terrible thing.
That's
to do.
very interesting that you should say that, because there was a broadcast for the World Championship that I really enjoyed,
Okay.
which is I watched Svidler and
yeah.
Grisha
Yeah, in Chess 24.
on
Right?
Chess 24,
Yeah.
and they were very good.
Yes,
I mean,
but then you see only them talking,
That's true.
but then you don't see the players. So it's like kind of.
that's true.
Yeah, some
That's
people like
true.
that. Some people want to see the players' reaction and how
Right.
their body language and all that matters to
that's
everyone.
true.
So yeah,
That's
it's like it's like, let's say tennis, Federer and Nadal are playing. You don't watch the broadcast. You just listen to the audio and see
that's
the points are.
that's a
being-
very good point.
Yeah, that's the way I feel it. So
That's an interesting point.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're watching our own versions of
Yeah.
Federer and
oh, that's too
and-
high to
and
compare. Similar to it.
yeah. It's interesting because I was able to appreciate the Svidler Grisha
Right,
thing
yeah. I do
because, to
appreciate
tell you
that
the
too.
truth, watching Carlsen and Caruana sit at the chessboard, not so interesting to me.
Right.
And I don't know why. Maybe it's just because of who I am.
Right.
I found the analysis to be so good,
that's very commendable,
and that was just my own impression of it.
Yeah, I agree that.
But it would be nice to have a combination of both.
Both, yeah. Like just the way we are.
Just the way we do it here at the Mechanics
Yeah.
Chess Club. Yeah. Oh, that's great. Thank you. Thanks for all that. That's actually very valuable, the things that you, that these conversations, because I hadn't really thought of that when I was watching this. To me, watching Carlsen and I played in so many chess tournaments, and I've seen great chess players play. I've seen Trojan play and other grandmasters, famous grandmasters. To see them actually sitting at the board playing chess, it's not that. To me, it's just like people playing chess. But it's true though to watch them analyze and to watch them to watch afterwards what happens. But to to stare at the chessboard with them alongside with them. That's not to me. It's not that interesting.
Right. I agree
but I
with
do
that.
see the appeal. For a spectator to have a lot of different things to refer to, the DGT boards, the live broadcasting, the commentary, all of that at once is a good way to experience chess. Yeah.
I agree that point. So.
Let's see. Oh, so this is Ivanov Stearman, and we were at this point, and now both players are kind of building up and waiting, trying to improve their pieces, bringing the rook to the c file, bringing the knight to a strong c4 square. I don't think that white has much of anything in this position.
It looks
Black has
logged.
Black has been much faster with the queenside play. And this just looks bad.
It's too much of.
I don't think this is appropriate. But maybe there's no other plan here. White needs to come up with something. You can see that this is already
this knight is
looking. Something has gone wrong here for White. But this is typical in a way of and now rook c2. So White's burning up a lot of time doesn't have a plan, and he's kind of Black is in charge here a little bit.
Is Black the higher rated of the two?
Quite a bit higher. FIDE master.
Oh wow. Okay. Nice.
Maybe 23, 75. Hi Andy Lee. White made Helen falls. These are players that we know. Bruce Ricard and Andy Lee are making comments. And Andy Lee just had and there's another master. Hi F Pawn, Michael Angier.
Nice.
And Andy Lee, they're both masters.
Is Andy not playing this tournament?
No, he's
Because
not
last
playing.
time
He has to go back to work. He has a new young daughter, a newborn.
Congrats.
Welcome, Papa Andy Lee. So he can't play. But he's offering now. His kids are asleep, and he's watching the broadcast and offering us his commentary. So this is better for Black, and Black is thinking of White's just this g4 followed by knight b1 and rook c2. It's not making any sense. But Ivanov is a resilient defender.
But I think White's plan is to go to rook to c1. I mean rook 1 to c1, and then put the knight on d2, and then push b3 so that his rook is under trouble. I mean, the next move, I think he's gonna double and
he's gonna double and play,
or weaken by pushing a pawn
let's move
Something
on.
like that.
I'm going to
He
move
has some
on.
kind of a plan. Yeah.
I'm going to move on to board 2. And White
This
did
kid
play
plays
knight
very
takes c6. I can't go back to. I'm going to just keep.
Yeah. Sure.
White played knight c6,
Mm-hmm.
pawn take. Oh, Black took with the pawn.
Oh.
I expected Black to take back with the knight. The
Yeah.
d4 pawn is attacked, but White deals with that easily.
Yeah.
Bishop d7, with the idea of maybe playing c5, and White keeps up a kind of a blockade
Yeah.
here, and finally recovers the pawn.
Back and. Oh,
And this has definitely turned out in White's favor.
White's favor, yeah, definitely.
Big time.
Yeah, knight came to eat.
Black is kind of solid, but and this is where we stand.
Yeah, but once a3 comes, I think that. Oh, but then he has knight to d5.
Elliot, how did you do? Okay, Elliot, can I, Mansour, I'm going to have Elliot Winslow join me here.
Thank you.
International Master Elliot Winslow, fresh from his adventures in Orlando, and he has just won his game. So we're going to be looking at that, but let me take off. Thank you, Mansour, and come back.
Yeah, sure.
You know, you could even come back later.
If I win, I'll definitely stop by.
Yeah, well, you just keep winning and winning and winning. So,
Thanks.
yeah,
See you.
bye. Good night, Elliot.
Sooner or later, his wedding's going to have to take place in the upper section.
That's right. And I'm trying to find your name, Elliot.
It's not. What was it again?
There you
Stephen
are.
Dunlop. What was that all about?
No, the name is
Okay, Elliot. So, Elliot.
So, Paul.
Yeah. Here we are. And who
Where?
did you play?
Stephen Krasnov.
The incredible,
The irascible.
the irascible
Yes.
Stephen Krasnov.
The unerasable.
Let's see the game. You show us the game. In fact, let's.
7.
You're on board 7. We never even looked at this game at once.
Good reason.
So
Okay, Mum will
you've
be
got
opening.
you've got the mouse.
I do?
Drive us through
Wait,
this.
are we over here?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, I move.
Tell us your thoughts as you were playing this game. Yeah, even the ghost of Tony Miles is playing.
He is?
Says F
Oh,
pawn.
E4, E4A6.
Oh, E4A6 on what board?
8. What's his name? Carlos did it.
Wow.
It's still interesting.
Wow. Okay.
It did not lead to an immediate loss, or win for that matter.
Right. I've played that actually.
So what did I do? I fished around. Whoops, I can't do that. I have to actually play.
You have to come over here.
Or up there.
Or up there, yeah.
Okay, so avoiding bishop g5 on move 2. I don't know. I neglected to consider what color I had. I looked at a few games of his as black, but forgot that I had black.
Okay, you're black. Okay.
So anyway,
You can, yeah. Okay.
and like they always do when I try to give him an opportunity to take the center without
take it.
c4, they do.
Okay.
Here it was.
All right.
Okay, so d6, and now knight c3, telling me no kings in the end. It's a Pierce.
Okay, Pierce
And I went
or
straight into it.
rat. Or do you
Yeah,
play? Do
I
you
play
play the Pierce or the rat
Actually, in my
or
last
the
round,
modern?
my last round debacle, because we can't put moves on the board, I played bishop g7, and Sarkar played f4, and I really wanted to play c6, which I used to know really well from the white side. I had all kinds of great games with that.
So does it
But-
depend on the chess player whether if somebody plays this setup, they'll call it a rat because this certain chess player played it, and they'll call it a modern if another chess player plays it. They'll call it a Perse if another chess player plays it. You know, when I played this setup with black, I was always thought I was playing a rat.
I know. No, it's not anymore. I played knight f6 finally.
Okay,
So it's back
Go
to
ahead.
back to a regular Perch.
all right. We'll keep
Or is it
showing.
Perch? Perch. Well, if it's Perch, then we shouldn't call it a rat. We should call it
A fish.
a pigeon. The pigeon defense.
A perch.
A rat with wings.
Ah, well,
You
a
never heard
perch
that
is a
before?
kind of a fish.
I knew that. Yes.
As
Okay.
well.
Regardless.
Okay.
But rat's perch, or rather, pigeon's perch.
Pigeon's perch.
And rats.
Okay. So
bite.
you have
Okay,
to go to. You
So
know.
he went here, and here we are in this thing,
Okay.
avoiding Sarwan's greatest ever theoretical novelty of forced draw, which it isn't.
Okay.
You know that line?
Where black plays c5 first.
Yeah.
I remember it. I don't.
We really got to get
remember
a
it,
real
but I
line.
know
We got to get a
it.
board. Maybe we could hold up little like cards that put a little board that shows
It's okay.
position. Or
We're
something.
we're in the entertainment business.
Yeah, but
here.
we could. But how entertaining some of these variations would be. Anyway, he played here,
Okay,
which
bishop
is,
e2.
has been annoying.
It's
in
an
fact,
old move. Fisher played it.
Yeah, what's his name? Against Korchnoi, wasn't it? Was Korchnoi?
Yeah, Korchnoi played
Didn't
it.
go so well.
Yeah.
Hey, I didn't even know you were here.
Hi, Bob.
Okay, so
So A3 is isn't A3 the
yes,
move now?
I don't know if
Right.
it's the
It's
move.
a diabolical move.
Actually, and Sarkar played bishop d3 against me,
Okay.
and then I played knight a6. Anyway,
Okay.
so this happened. So
All right.
I thought, okay, let's just see if he knows anything. And the answer was, because d5 has got its flaws.
D5 has its flaws.
And
It's
this-
very
I don't-
Karpovian.
Except
B5.
this, I can't remember if this is supposed to be
That's
good or
gotta
not. But
be a
look, I
good
didn't see
move.
anything wrong with it, so I
Right.
played it.
It's in fact it's. I played it in a blitz game recently. I think it's
e5, but then that pawn hangs.
yeah, D, E, F, E, knight
Take knight g4,
G4.
e6 maybe, but then I have b4.
Yeah. Well,
Or not.
You're the master of your fate.
Yeah,
you're
well,
the one playing the
And
black
the fish
piece.
cage got my fate. So
Bishop
anyway,
B5
here,
is
here,
not good.
Well,
This is
probably not.
already
And here we
great
go.
for black.
Maybe he can just take on with knight takes, and then c4. I don't know. Anyway, this is
Black
what
is
happened.
better.
And he just went into the whole thing. I didn't play knight c3, forcing me to give
Yeah,
up my bishop, but
right.
I don't actually mind. But he just simply played here,
But this is great
stubbing
for
my
black.
bishop's toe.
But
then
still,
I
this
take
is great for black.
Yeah, there's no knight takes d6 like there is in the King's Indian lines, or the
Yeah.
Benoni with the where well you can't get there either with the c pawn and the e pawn are gone.
Nice
So,
position already for
probably.
the Elliott
And actually,
Winslow.
this didn't help. So now I just circle the wagons on d5. That was a sensible move, but I get there first.
I like the way you said that. Circle the wagons on G5. Oh, this
Oh look,
is making.
wagons.
Okay.
So
If A5.
that's what he did, and then I
Bishop
ignore him.
B7, yeah.
That's fun because he can't take. He could.
If A B6, Queen A1, folks. Yeah, that's
If
terrible, of
ABC,
course.
D, E, F. So what did he do? He didn't even try to. Well, he went here. Now his knight. Watch that knight. It keeps going back and forth.
Oh no, we shouldn't
Yeah.
make fun.
Well, no, but so this came
okay,
off
so you've won a pawn.
for nothing. Now his F pawn's hanging, and he played G3, and that kind of tells you. That looks like a computer move in that it blundered a pawn away, and now it's just going to play as if nothing had happened.
Well, what can you
Yeah.
What can you do?
Anyway, I proceeded. I don't know if E7, E6 was right, but I figured, Endspiel, Schmenspiel. So I just made moves. I put pieces on better squares than they were previously. How mundane.
Black is doing great here.
Yeah, and then
Just
I,
absolutely
he has a
good.
dream of somehow getting C4 in. So I
Right.
played here so that I could play F5.
Right.
Pushing him out, Steinitz and all that.
No, this is
And now
turning
those
out.
happened. He didn't even try G5, which he, not there, of course.
Right.
So, and he went
Threatening
here.
knight takes F5, Elliot.
Yeah, and guess what? I noticed.
You noticed it.
What did I do? I played
Bishop
something.
C4, maybe?
No, I just moved away.
So, and
Because there's all
okay.
kinds of good squares.
Right.
And now, somewhere in here, I muck up. Okay, I went here. He had to go back. You know, it sounds like the famous.
You're doing
aviator scene in
great.
the
You're
Marx
doing
Brothers.
great here.
And I should play, what? There was something I screwed up. Oh, knight check. I don't know why I didn't play knight check. Because on king G2, bishop C6,
Can
I
you
threaten the H pawn.
can I leave you alone with the commentary for 5 minutes or a few minutes, and you can finish your
I
game?
don't care.
I'm gonna
But
I'm use the restroom
Okay.
and I'll be back.
Okay.
I'll be back. You
I'll
can.
be black. Yes. Okay. So, folks, how many people are actually watching this?
We
It
don't
must be at
know.
least 5.
Well, actually, we do know how many people are watching on the Twitch.
Andy Lee 1227. Is that Andy Lee?
Yeah,
I am F pawn.
I'm not
Is that
sure.
F
It
pawn?
doesn't say right there. If
probably
we were
is.
on the Twitch channel, we would know.
Actually,
how
those are
many
the only
people.
the only two guys that are commenting. Say something, you croutons. Even the ghost of Tony.
You have to
Milestone
ask
knows
if you
that.
can leave Elliot alone. You're right. You're right, Andy. I don't trust him with the microphone, but what can I do? You know, I mean, I can't sit here
Just wait till he leaves, and I'll tell you what I really think about it.
All right. No. You're in safe hands, everybody,
Yes.
with Elliot
I am
Winslow.
one of the first commentators.
I want you to also, when I come back, I want you to tell. I want to talk about Florida.
What's to tell about Florida?
Yeah.
There was a Denny's nearby, just like there is in Emeryville. There's no difference whatsoever. And the Walgreens, exactly the same floor layout. But what can you do? I had salmon and haddock and salmon, right and left. Okay, anyway, right back to A3, which doesn't cut it. What did I do here? I did something stupid. Oh, right, Bishop C4. Knight G4 was the move. Waffle House 2, no, not nearby. If it was a Waffle House, I did not know about it. Oh, Jill. Who is Bruce Ricard? I wonder. Oh, yes, Bruce Ricard. Just kidding. Is there anybody else in there? Nope, it's those three. Wait, there's a guy named Dan Cushing. I bet that's his name, too. Oh, there's all these people. Wait a minute. Andy Lee's doing all the commentary here. I don't have to say a word, but I will. We move along. Anyway, I played Bishop C4 instead just to fart around and provoke. What else? Knight back to D2. And now I tossed my check in too late. And I went back. A threat, a defense. Not a threat. I never tried Knight H5. I was just backing off. And maybe I have some Bishop F6 someday, but I didn't. So what am I doing here? I'm not concerned. That's the silly thing. So I put this to here. Which might be wrong also. I started to back up, which was not... And that now I felt like I missed some kind of... Not my only chance, but some sort of chances. But I'm still up a pawn for nothing. And the two bishops, and the big center, and the weird queen side for white. And everything's just fine. So, what did I go there for? Threatening his knight. He guarded it. Check. And now when he took, I could take either way. I took with the pawn, because now I have lava pawns, a mass of pawns in the center. See Winslow versus Tenzing Shaw for details, our first game. And here, defend. And there, I actually had forgotten that I have a possible weak pawn too, but I managed to defend it. He tosses that in, he throws that in, and now I'm actually slightly uncomfortable. But then I thought, I'll just send them forward. I did. These came off, this came off. I know my pawns aren't perfect or anything, but it's okay. Threatening, C takes B. Somebody notes Mrafinsky. Did I pronounce it right?
I guess.
Mrafinsky. Who was it telling me? Oh, Fedorowicz was getting mad at Ginsburg for... it was Ginsburg was grumbling about Fedorovich. Because, or was it the other way around? One of them said, it's not Chernin, it's Chernin. Mrafinsky. Okay, so anyway, takes. He has to take it back, I hope. He did. Too bad. Oh, no, he didn't. That was my surprise.
The game you played 5 minutes
ago.
Wrong
color. Is there a way to flip the board around? Oh, there is. Cool.
Yeah.
Oops. Does everybody else see that different?
I think so, yeah. Everybody's looking at it.
I guess so.
Yeah.
So this is the color from which I was.
Sure if you wanted the...
So B4. So he's trying to cause trouble. Of course, there's never any real trouble. Maybe Knight B7 was a proper thing. Oh, they couldn't yet. You had to do something. Yeah, I think I may have actually mucked it up a little bit here. If we had an engine, we would have proof. Because if he had taken instead, and bishop takes C3,
I like the way all of your pawns
2.
are isolated from each other.
And separated. And a couple of double ones, too. And 2 rook pawns. Really, a great collection of pawns.
This is like the greatest pawn structure of all time.
Yeah, I think... he couldn't play just takes, rookie 2, because wait, there is a way that he... Oh, right, because on bishop d4 check, he has just simply bishop b3. That doesn't really convince.
So what should he play? Pawn takes pawn?
Yeah, of course.
You should just play pawn takes pawn,
and
then bishop takes pawn on his rook.
And rook e2, so what? I'm threatening my e-pawn, and if I have rook d4, admittedly. And then who knows what.
I think black should have some way in here.
Yeah, probably, but I'm not quite sure where it will be.
No, yeah, I know, it's a little bit tough.
Because the e-pawn is weak.
Rook d6, maybe?
Well, then well, yeah, that's a trade of pawns. I'm always going to be this weird pawn on. Anyway, he played b4.
That's crazy.
Well, it's consistent.
You have a nice pawn on c3 now.
Yep, that lives. And now, what do? I went here to bother him, and then he puts his bishop on the wrong side of the board. And I could play rook check, rook a2, but instead
Rook H2, or Rook
I didn't do that. And actually, there's interesting aspects. Namely, as the game went, King E3, Bishop D4 is mate, so you'd have to go somewhere else.
Oh yeah. I'd
But
be
in
very
fact-
tempted to
But
do
here's
that.
what's funny. I just made a waiting move,
Bishop H4 check.
possibly, but he played King here anyway.
Ah.
And
And then you played.
so
Rook.
I didn't want to play Knight B7, which then everything gets wrong. So I saved my bishop. He could try B5, takes, and Knight E4, and then Bishop A6 as well. But he played a rook move, and none of them matter. They're all the same because I go here. Game over.
Bishop D4 mate.
He overlooked it. Yeah, all he saw was the danger of Rook A2 because his rook's in C1.
Wow.
And in this position, if now that his rook's then on the E file, if Knight takes E4,
What about
Bishop
Knight B3?
yeah, Knight B3 is the same thing. I play Rook D3 check and
Yeah.
take his H pawn even.
Horrible.
If I really want to be crude.
Nice trick, says Murfinsky.
Yeah, very cute.
And
Yeah, F5 made
Bishop,
on G5.
Bishop
yeah, it's
G5.
like this is from seeing too many Tony problems. It
Yeah.
feels like a mate in 3, but it probably isn't mate in 3, but it's close.
We're used to looking at these very complicated chess problems here at the club that one of the Mechanics Institute members, Tony Lama, shows us every day.
See the
Mate in
newsletter for
3,
details.
Mate in 2, Mate in
But
4.
he called us from Montreal today. I think he's visiting his brother.
Yeah.
And we expected him to give us a mate in 3, but he just
Right.
said no.
Mate in 6,
Yeah.
Mate in 4. It's always
The
some
American
kind of-
Chess Problemist, or whatever that book's called. That
He's got a
currently
bunch of
working
books.
his
I've
way
given
through.
him actually a bunch of books, and he's torturing us with
Yes.
all of them.
I prefer the, right to play and win or draw.
There's some beautiful. No, he shows studies too, and Nick DeFermian.
Sometimes it's Sun Wang, sometimes it's just. I mean, there's all kinds of things where you threaten all these mates, but once he moves, suddenly all those mates go away, but all these other mates appear. Some of them are quite amazing.
Yeah, we've seen some beautiful chess
Thank
problems.
heavens he doesn't got a book of Sam Lloyd problems. We'll really get.
Stay here for a while, Elliot, and show us some.
There's not much. Oh wait, the last 2 moves.
Oh
of
yeah,
course,
show us the last 2 moves.
which I see didn't make their way into the.
Oh, what were they then? After.
Oh, that's supposed to be going forward. Oh, we started mucking around.
Go forward.
I did not play Bishop G7. Who wants to correct the record here? Where's
You just went back.
Oh, that's the back. No, I wasn't.
Yeah, you hit the back button.
I did not.
Yeah. Oh, you're right.
Oh dear. Yeah, that is not the move I played. I played a little further forward. I played Bishop
Bishop
G4 mate.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah, error.
There's an error in the game score for all time on DGT.
Yeah, Juan, can you fix an error?
Okay, so Elliot's 44th move.
Is not Bishop G7. I
It
had
was
a mate
Bishop
in 1.
D4 mate.
Katlang, and he looked at the position. It took him a little while to accept. I gave him time. I didn't stop the clock or anything, and I eventually kind of, accepted. Oh yeah, and he smiled. That's important.
Okay. Just don't tell us it was a geezer moment or something like
Well,
that.
no, it's just people miss mate and
Mhm.
little board,
Yeah.
but it was a neat little game in some ways. But what did he do wrong?
So tell us about Orlando.
What's to say about Orlando? I did not go to Disney World. I did not go to Harry Potter Kingdom or Wizards, whatever. I did not go to Universal, whatever, Studios. I didn't go to.
Did you go to what is it? A Hornets game? No.
No.
It's, Orlando.
I don't know that stuff.
Yeah, I don't either.
Where's
It's all the way on the other side. All the way on the other side of the country.
What did I do? And I was staying in
But you must have seen people that you hadn't seen in
Yes,
years.
there was some of that, and I didn't recognize them, nor
and
they me.
They didn't recognize you.
And I talked to Al Lawrence, which I haven't done for quite a while. We had a great time. And
You used to work for the U.S. Chess.
yes,
Yeah.
I
So
was the
there's-
multiple timed assistant editor, which was a misnomer, but that's okay. Someone is knocking on our door.
Hi,
Hello.
sir.
Well, I was just wondering about the tournament this weekend that they mentioned.
Okay, you can enter it online. I know that you can
Okay.
enter it
When is the
online.
deadline?
Moments before it starts.
I'm not sure if that's true for online
Oh,
entry.
I don't know. Yeah, that's a good point.
I'm not
But if you show up,
positive
you can just show up and enter. It's
Oh,
easy
all
to.
right. What
Yeah.
time does it start?
They usually
That is
start
the
at
question.
10. The first round's usually at 10. Late registration usually ends at 9:45.
Okay. And
But
what's-
double check that on the website.
It'll say on there.
Yeah.
What's the fee?
It should be. Okay, so this is the 2-day tournament.
Yeah.
Can you look us up on chessclub.org and
Are you a web, are you an internet type person?
What's that?
Are you a person that uses the internet?
Yeah.
Oh, there you are.
Chessclub.org, you can
Yeah, I
find
registered
out all
for
of
this
that.
one online, so.
Yeah, same thing. You can
Would it be
register
at-
for that one online as
Mechanics
well.
Institute?
Yes.
I'll look it up
Is
for
that
it.
the same as?
Here, we'll put it on this other computer.
Yeah, you'll be able to find it.
All right.
Okay.
Sure. Yep.
This is nice. We have the wall of rainbow informants in the back there.
Yeah. How'd you do, Mr. Frank?
Oh, I lost.
Oh no. Okay.
To whom did you
It happens.
perform this debacle?
If I have a box of chess books, to donate? Do I bring them here? Or
Yeah, and we can write you a letter.
Okay, but anytime that you're open.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Bring us a box of chess books,
Yeah.
and we can write you a donation letter
That's
as well.
What do you got? Anything good?
some use.
Have you-
no good. Of course, that's why I'm giving them away.
Or have you read them? A more relevant question.
I haven't read them.
Oh!
Bring them on in.
Oh, we'll finish reading them first.
Okay. So this is Ivanov Stearman.
Oh yeah, this is interesting.
Yeah, well, Ivanov seems to
Just another slimeball Slav
G4.
by Stearman.
I don't, and
Ooh, okay, a bind of sorts, but who knows? This was one of Soltis's. What did he call it? He called it the he had a name for it.
Stearman.
Plunking a knight on c4 like that. It was one of his pre-ohms, whatever that means. Then White could probably have played f4. Doesn't look like Black's heading for e4 successfully for a while. That would have been a way to go. f4, knight f3, and then
I mean,
g5.
White doubling on the c file
Meaningless.
makes absolutely no sense
Yeah.
at all in
Yeah,
this game.
he should have been
He
playing
should
for
play
g5.
king h1, rook g1.
Yeah.
If he's playing
No, well,
g4,
f4 and g5. He should
Yeah.
have just
this is ridiculous.
pried it open.
And unbelievably,
well, that's okay. We shouldn't criticize him too
yeah.
much for this.
Okay, we'll show you how he got there.
Looks like some. It wasn't.
Yeah,
it wasn't indeed an
equalish,
exchange Slav.
and equalish, but unpleasant for White. And I mean, so what's White doing doubling on the C file here? It has no.
No, right. You
meaning.
said that. Let's move on.
Right.
Oh,
Well, that's as far as
That's
we've
another
moved
meaningless
on.
move.
Let's go to the very beginning,
Oh,
Andy, and everybody
Yeah,
else.
there it is. On move
This
3,
is-
he traded.
By the way, these are the participants. The youngster playing
Not
black
so young
is
anymore. Boy, he's looking
Josiah
almost like an
Stearman,
adult. If we're not
and
careful.
playing.
You know about this, by the way. You don't have to use the mouse.
Yeah, show us. We'll go through the game. It's an exchange Slav.
Which I played for a while, and I lost a few. How do you lose on White in the exchange Slav? I found out.
Maybe we'll find out. Yeah.
Oh, we might. Okay, so here we go. The slightly modern variation of it. Oh, this is a move that you don't see all the time. Tap. Oh, what way? Check, back, back.
I've seen
And then,
this.
yeah, this is all a bunch of stuff. Oh, look out. Don't get mated or lose a piece. Still, it's not the end of the world. But what's the queen doing on c2? Not very much. Aha! Preparing the castle. Knight e5. A natural move. Everybody's making moves. Yeah, the knight, it's annoying that black has c4.
So now what about f4?
Yeah, f4 and knight
f4, g4.
How did he get his other knight around? That's what I didn't see that. Oh, there's a rash
Yeah,
decision.
well, White.
Here he comes.
Yeah.
Okay, that move gets credit for stooping to conquer, as I remember an article in British Chess magazine in the 70s.
Well, first White plays g4, then he plays knight b1. I'm sorry, but
No,
I
those
just
moves are
can't.
completely related. He's heading to control e5 again.
And he wants to, yeah.
He's
and
putting his knight in a better square. He's also clearing the.
White
well,
plays a prophylactic. Is playing a prophylactic
It's like
game.
they've run out of real ideas, so this is what they're doing
Both
instead.
players are
And
playing.
now
kind of-
f4, of course. I would think. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
No.
Seemed like that. Now he's stumped.
I think both
Black's
players.
going to grind him up. But this is all they've done. Holy smolians.
Well,
Okay. Well,
the
look at the
main
clock.
salient feature I
Is
was
the
going to
clock.
say is the clock here, where White is burning up time and Black is moving relatively quickly.
Yes.
I would like to see White's rooks doubled on the G file in this
Yeah, well,
position
that's not-
rather than the C file.
But you know what?
But then Black would be.
Black's done a bunch of
He's afraid of Black.
inexplicable things too. What's his knight doing on b6?
Yeah.
What does he want to? trade his knight off on knight takes
and then
e5, so that he can play knight c4 again.
Or maybe play knight
Oh.
d6 and the other knight to c4. In fact, knight d6 isn't maybe a nice idea here. Maybe. And then play the other knight to c4, or play that other knight into e4. But white's, yeah, I mean, black's the one that seems to be doing something here.
Why didn't he, instead of knight to d7, a knight d7 to b6, why didn't he just play b4 and opens?
There we go.
And queen takes back, and then threaten queen takes b2. Except he isn't, because
right. White could try maybe bishop b1 and then knight d3.
b1, yeah, okay. So
and then knight d3, and then white plays knight c5 or knight
a scary
b4.
thing or two. Yeah, white's not.
It's not obvious how black makes
game.
progress without b5, b4. Yeah, both players are gummed up and finding it. This is why I don't play d4 and play into these positions.
This is why you don't play chess.
I don't
you
understand them. I don't understand them. Yeah.
All
right, so let's move on. Let's move on to the next game. Eric
what
Lee.
happened in this? This has been a weird game. I want to see how white did not just get crushed in the opening.
How white did not get crushed? Okay. Well, let's see where we are now and form a little bit.
Why didn't he play rook b5 right away before it? Oh, it didn't. It did hang a pawn.
So white's won a pawn now.
Wasn't his knight on b4? Yeah, why didn't he kick white's queen out early?
Black has badly misplayed this to be a pawn down.
So let's hear.
With almost no compensation at all. With no compensation.
Okay, so it was a weird, sort of slightly weird, getting into a Catalan. Knight c6. What do you think about that little move?
It's like a Chigorin setup against the Catalan.
It's the last tango in Catalonia.
Yeah, it's the Chigorin against the Catalan, folks. Like, what can I say?
And snarf, a pawn.
And that makes sense. And actually,
so now he gets his pawn back only, does he?
Yeah, but he.
No, take that, you scruffy.
Black plays a kind of an aggressive game
Look
here.
at that. And if a3.
No,
what is that? Just a minute. What about a3? And if bishop takes d2, knight f d2 loses the d pawn.
Also, black can throw in knight b6.
Can't take that.
Black can throw in knight b6.
That's
so.
Bing. But you know what? A3, I would go with that. Then what? Well,
maybe we should go back to the fifth move after black played d takes c4.
Yeah, what can white do?
And maybe this is the place where white should play something else. But
what?
What?
But when? Or just castle and play it straight.
Castle.
Yeah. What did he do? He tried to get his pawn back prematurely. Anyway, I'm sure it's all been played. Some PSAC. Oh, that's the other game.
Oh.
Maybe Kramnik Aronian. Yeah, which game? They never played before. So here we go. Okay, out of here. And then maybe that's...
I like rook b8.
Okay, he has to stop. But a6. Now he's just pawn for nothing. How did he... Oh, wow.
This is good because if b5, knight takes c6.
Yes, okay, very good. Or bishop takes for that matter. No. Yeah, what is happening here?
Oh, the famous Slav. Okay.
The one where he played bishop to g8? Oh, wrong Slav. Sorry. You know that? Oh, it's Topalov. Topalov Kramnik.
I don't know any.
How convenient it is for you. Okay, what's going on here? So it's black's move. What if he...
Yeah, I couldn't really see another move other than what he kind of... He could play queen d4, maybe.
Is b5 really so bad?
Well, I was looking at b5, knight takes c6.
Queen d6.
Queen where?
d6.
Queen takes b4, and white's one
I didn't defend it. Okay, good point. Okay, so anyway, castle.
The famous Slav is an oxymoron. So he just castled. Yeah. Now, why didn't black take back with the knight?
Well, it still happens. It still runs into bishop takes c6, and then knight takes c4.
No,
getting rid of that bishop never matters. That's well.
Wait a minute.
Okay.
What happens if black plays knight takes c6?
And what happens if white plays bishop takes c6?
Then pawn takes, and the black bishop is going to end up on some kind of diagonal.
Some kind of diagonal. It's already on a diagonal. The c8 to d7.
Okay. Well, after knight takes c6...
and then white has a better bishop, but good knight, bad bishop. All kinds of squares for the knight. What black's got ridiculous pawns. I mean, it's a known imbalance. It's a known
okay. Let's see. So he takes
Catalan-
back with the pawn.
Catalan rubbish.
I thought knight takes c6 was better.
Yeah.
At least forcing
The
bishop
knight on
c6.
b4 is useful. The knight on a3 hinders a3, and a6,
Okay.
c6. Everything's guarded. It's a great knight.
Okay.
In fact, should white just play bishop takes c6? I don't know if that works.
Well, then queen d4. Or knight, or
Okay,
go
so
back,
rook here, save
or
the
knight
pawn.
c6 and rook takes b2. Right?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, so this is what happened. Oh, threats, sort of, not really. Apparently they were. But what
I
about
think
rook
white's
b5 here? Why didn't he
knight
play?
b5.
Whoops, adjust. Okay, that
But then cb. Oh yeah, you can't do that. Okay. Yeah.
that
So
might have been interesting. Oh, what hanging?
white's starting to take control here.
What about here? Oh, then c7 hangs. Maybe queen e7 wasn't the
Yeah.
hottest move in the world.
I think black went off
He had
the
to do
rail.
something. Not yet. There's still other rails. That I don't know. Is this really so great for?
But isn't white just got the positional?
So why did he go here? Why didn't he go rook b5 and gain a tempo or who knows what else? And then c5. That looked clear.
Rook b5, queen a3.
Okay, so
Can't play c5 without just losing a pawn.
no, why?
Because
Oh, it hangs my knight.
yeah,
So what if so queen a3? What if a5? Does that not work? Am I getting myself in some sort of?
the famous
Trouble?
solve is an oxymoron. I'm
Yeah, I
going
saw
to
it.
keep going back to that. I mean, white just looks like he has a nice game to me. I
Well,
mean,
okay, but trust me,
optically, 7.
There's been some. Have you seen? Did you see like Seoul Nakamura?
Yeah.
No.
I've seen that. I know what you mean. But
They
where's
find
where's the beef here? They find
it's
they
a
find.
vegetarian position. What can I tell you? It's a catalyst, for heaven's sake.
Raid incoming from Coach Santos.
What could that possibly mean?
Who's that?
I don't
What does
know.
that mean?
Why is there a
Raid
picture of a
coming.
woman?
Raid coming in from Coach Santos.
I don't know.
From Mubot.
What does raid
Now
stand for?
Mubot isn't Mubot.
No idea. Electric cow? Mubot?
It's actually there's actually like a Twitch bot or something called Mubot. I think.
Oh, you think maybe it's a message?
It's like yeah.
Raid incoming.
I'm not sure
I don't
what
believe
that
it.
means.
Rubbish. So what if we?
Raid is where other streamers send their audience to you when they close down.
Oh,
Nice.
that's interesting.
How awesome is that? Okay, very cool.
So that mouse does not work.
Okay,
Cool. Okay, so now we're gonna have a bunch
so
of
we're
people.
gonna
who
have people watching.
Looks like one of them. Hi, Robert.
yeah.
or Roberts,
Okay, so
Mr. Roberts.
what happens after Rook B6?
I don't know.
Let's keep
What
going.
could happen? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, he played a3, and there goes the knight.
Okay.
If his queen were there, he could not do this. But then this kind of holds it up as well. Okay, there goes
Hitting the rook.
there goes the a pawn. Well, I
And-
hope you're happy.
I am happy because I think white was better anyway, and he's reaping the rewards. C5 now
Weeping or
is
weeping?
to
Yeah,
hit the.
You'd think.
That's
Oh,
what
there it
he
is.
does.
Okay, so black's still
But maybe
kicking.
that doesn't do anything.
He is
'Cause-
lights up a pawn now.
Yeah.
This is not a
No,
happy home. But
this
wait a
is-
minute. How's he doing now? Uh-oh, get off that. That's it. That's the position.
This is a position that we're dealt with, folks.
E3,
The
C5.
strongest 11-year-old in the country
He is?
a solid pawn up versus Michael Lynn, expert, strong expert. But
Wait,
it seems to have gone
that's-
off the rails here.
Yuan Li is the strongest.
11-year, highest rated 11-year-old in the country.
Who knew?
So he's playing here tonight at the Mechanics Institute, Tuesday night marathon. That's what
I
the Steve
know.
Brandwein Memorial.
Brandwein.
Brandwein.
He's been doing this for years. Brandwein didn't care, but it drives me nuts.
No, I don't. I've never called him Brandywine.
Yes, you always call him Brandywine.
Brandywine.
I tell you, this is it's a condition. You could see somebody for it, but that's okay.
It's
Brandwine.
Brandwine.
It's
The guy
two
was one of
syllables.
my
Two.
best friends.
2 syllables. Where's the camera? Here,
I
2
never would have
syllables.
said Brandwine.
Yes, you would have.
No, I wouldn't have.
Okay.
I want to see your lovely face. So I'm turning the.
Denial comes in many colors. Okay, what's going on here for white?
Okay.
E3 probably.
We're gonna pass on
Rook
this game.
H4, checkmate.
I think I read someone's article about Brandwein. By the way, that is one of my favorite pieces of chess writing. Yeah, those famous Zen
Silman on
master.
Brandwein?
Silman wrote a fantastic obituary of Steve on chess.com. You've got to read it.
I think I did
a
read
few
it,
years
but I
ago.
probably forgot it.
And all the comments afterwards, they just poured in hundreds of comments.
Kaufman went on and on.
Yeah, and so yeah, it was a great obituary. Jeremy, if you can write
You
my
need references.
obituary.
Too bad we can't come over here and like open a browser.
What happens with knight d6?
Huh?
I don't know.
What? Rook, oh, queen. That's what he played. Queen d2. That's good. Guards the rook. What's the big deal? What do you mean? Knight d6 is
Knight d6
is not his move. That's
Yeah.
what happens. So
all
that's
right.
the threat.
Let's move on to Natalia's game.
Okay.
All right, this was a long time ago. Obviously, bishop
So
f3.
we're going back to the
We
beginning.
thought black.
I haven't seen these games.
Yeah, but I mean, you can get it. It's a kind of a
Oh, thank
King's Indian. I think that black is.
Yeah, it's more of a I don't know what it is now.
Is there? Wait a minute. So, is there a good discovery after bishop d4, pawn takes, rook takes? Where does the?
Well, knight f3 wins the exchange.
Oh, knight
I'll just
f3
have to
check.
do it.
Okay. All right, that's good enough.
Good enough for folks.
Queen d1.
Okay. Okay, so he locks up d4.
Oh, she locks up d4.
Oh, she said.
Well played game. And
Cat
this
ate it.
this gets rid of the two bishops. I kind of approve of that.
And you still have d4.
And you still have d4.
Okay, that's a kind of a nothing move.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was looking queen a6, mild tempo. f5, checkmate. Well, it is not checkmate. So does what? Does
Somebody
black
said the rook would, on d4 was loose.
Yes, that's why it didn't go there. There was never a rook on d4.
There was never a loose rook on d4 that I saw.
No.
Okay, queen b7.
Okay, the b6 made sense. Up, or did it? So f5 was already well. That doesn't hinder e6. Does e6 not just cause a?
Well, white's
F6.
got f6 here, so.
Yeah, that could be annoying. Okay, so f6 could still be played up. Hold on. What about
White's
f6?
playing a nice aggressive game here.
f6 would go tick, 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 and then queen takes e4. Maybe. You think?
Black may be interested in giving up the exchange here, but not
So
yet.
fast. Not so fast. Oh, look at this. Now that's where rook should be. Maybe. Up.
Wow.
Breaking on the queen side. This is
White
a nice,
can always play.
interesting
I
game.
mean, yeah, I'm not sure White wants to play knight e7 or an f6 or something like that. It might not turn out well in the end.
Oh, yeah.
With pawns on
Queen takes on
e4.
f6 and bishop h6. It'll turn out well in the end.
So what happens there?
Yeah, why not?
Knight e7, rook e7, f6.
Is that a missed option? I think it might be. Ooh. No, rook takes e4. That's what happens.
Oh, rook takes e4 on the
queen, which doesn't really want to have to move, and e3 even it could be a hanging.
Okay.
Okay, that's
All right.
good enough.
B3 though is a little slow looking.
Slow. Oh, there it goes. And it's
yeah,
out
I
of there.
think Black was probably forced to do that.
Why? There's still no threat.
'Cause well, I'm not sure that this
Bishop
is, this is
e5.
okay, listen.
Yeah, it's
Knight
going to be a
e7,
problem.
rook e7, f6, rook e4, is fg7.
Rook takes queen. Oh, you want to make me? Good
Yeah,
luck
well,
with that.
if I could play rook f7
You can,
check
you
at the
can.
end, but then your queen is
Oh.
there. Yeah. Okay, so Black plays rook d5 and to get rid of that. But then this is neither here nor there. What
Here
about
is
bishop
the other bowling.
f6?
Whoa.
What about bishop
What
g5?
about it? What about it?
Is that 2 minutes?
Queen h6, bishop g7, queen h4, draw. Just mentioned
I think bishop g5 looks like a strong move here.
for white.
Yeah.
Oh, you do you? Well, I could just trade it. Of
Yeah,
course.
trade it and play. Yeah, okay. All right. So queen
I don't know if that
g3,
means anything.
bishop went back there. King to rook
Yeah,
1.
so it's a time thing. Black has 15 minutes, if we can trust those clocks.
Queen b5.
Do those clocks update every move? Is that how it works?
I think so.
Queen b5.
I'm not sure.
Okay, with some
Well,
penetration possibilities. Queen d3. Black has that past c pawn. You never know when that's going to get going. It's like a Benoni.
I would say that white's better, but it's very unclear still.
It's still up in the air.
Okay, up in the air. Let's move
What else
on
we got? Oh,
to
Chiron.
Chiron. All right, we left it at this position. We thought Chiron had a nice game, but we weren't sure exactly
A
what
lot
was
has
going to
happened with him
happen
since
here.
then,
And Yeah, it seems like black maybe doesn't have a great plan here. B5 would be
A5,
2.
A4.
I like this. I like this.
What do I could turn it up? Up. Action.
Action.
Okay. Oh, what's that?
Queen D8. Maybe H4 was not the great. It was
Well,
not.
H5, right? Or is that black just going to take it? Look at this.
Look at this
Hold
move.
it. Is that legal? Yes, just barely. But it just means exchanges. Look at that. All the rooks come off.
Rookie 2 knight D8.
That's what happened. Take, and knight D8. And there goes the annoying bishop on B7 with a, let's just call it a trend changer. Suddenly we have a different game. Oh, look at this. I don't have to take on B7. Or do I? I don't know about this one.
This one.
So what about, is that our position? No, there's more moves. Ah,
White's going for a perpetual check.
really? I don't know. There's danger. I don't see. We don't want a stinking perpetual check. Maybe we do. Huh?
Black is.
Wait a minute. Uh-oh.
This is an exciting game. Great, exciting game.
But is this sound? Okay, everyone.
Black doesn't seem to think so.
96. Uh-oh. Oh, boy. Queen F6, Jim.
Queen
So what can
F6
black
is
do?
a threat. Yeah, White is being very ambitious here. And Kyron Griffith is thinking, what am I going to do now against the
Oh, my
threat of
goodness.
Queen F6 and Queen G5 mate?
Well, he could play
And
Queen
also,
E3.
by the way, is Knight F8.
Queen E3. Oh, that doesn't threaten a perpetual. Ayah.
Knight
What?
F8 is
No.
also a threat, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good point. So what if? Oh, Bishop E7 runs. It isn't mate though.
Bishop E7, Queen G5.
King H5, but then you can take on E7. That's bad enough, Boris.
Yeah.
So what can black set up? Let's think about this. So
Wow.
Queen E3 just runs into take
Well,
and
on
knight
Queen
takes F8.
F6, yeah, Queen G3 is possible.
Ah, there you go. That's an interesting possibility. But then knight takes F8. There's no
And
perpetual.
there's no perpetual. But the
Much
pawn,
as
does
you'd
the
like to
pawn
do.
go down for a touchdown? G3?
No, don't get mated on H7 or anything. Yeah, Queen D6.
Queen G.
Wait, where are you going? Okay, what's your?
Okay, I'm
Black's
saying
move.
Queen G3.
Okay, knight takes bishop. Smart.
D pawn D3.
Queen D6. That was my line. Yeah, your queen's on G3.
No, now I can
Oh, now you have
perpetual you.
E1. You're right. Okay, hold up then.
Queen E7 maybe.
Maybe.
Threatening.
Mate in 1. Okay, so that's interesting. Oh, Queen E7 stops Queen takes H4 check.
So King H5.
And stops Queen E1.
So then
King
King
H5. Well,
Then Queen H.
oh, I take all your pawns if nothing else.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
what happens then? King H5, Queen H7, King G4, Queen G6,
G6.
King H4. White.
Oh, that's just winning for white.
White's got to have a win there.
Unless the pawn queens. That's I hate to have the queens trade off and then get queen on. That would be wrong. Oh,
It might
white,
not be
no,
that easy.
I don't know. If white gets some. There are still possibilities of knight check and coming back, but I would want to calculate it out.
Okay, we won't calculate it out. But we're looking at a critical line maybe here, where black plays Queen G3.
So Josiah.
Black King is on H4. There's no perpetual.
What are you calling Mr. Stearman's first name?
Hosea?
Hosea.
What do you call him?
No,
Josiah?
I call him Josiah, but
Is it Josiah?
he's changed his
or-
name.
It's Joe and not Ho? Josiah?
Who are you calling?
I always said Hosea. Hosea. I thought it was a silent,
How terribly
a silent J,
continental
right?
of you.
No?
No.
Okay. All right, let's look at this line one more time, Elliot, because we have our friends.
So Queen G3.
Rafinsky is taking a look at this too.
He is? Where?
Queen G3.
Oh, over there.
Well, we're looking at Queen G3, Knight F8, D3.
There's no other move, is there?
And
'Cause-
Queen
'cause letting him
H4,
out is
King
really
G1,
annoying.
and the Queen is even further away. Although it's possible to
Let's
do
think.
that.
Okay, so knight takes F8. Queen E3. You could also play King H5 right away. Ooh. What does that get?
Yeah, there's all kinds of possibilities.
And knight takes
It's,
H7
it's a
threatens.
position with danger for both sides.
The engine would tell us. Of course.
I'm not sure. What do engines know?
Queen H8 has been suggested. Woohoo.
Okay, but it is
It's a
Black's.
perpetual.
It's
Yeah, it's
Black's
Black's move.
move.
Yes, good point.
And we're looking at Queen G3 here. This is a very interesting game. This is a tremendous game. Queen G3 might be the move that mixes it all up.
I'm Judith, by the way.
All right, let's move on.
So you just graduated?
Just graduated.
Okay, there's someone who really wants to meet you.
Our new
And that's me, because I lived in Charlottesville.
Yes.
Oh wow.
So I was kind
Yeah,
of,
yeah.
Oh,
I lived in Charlottesville.
oh wait, is your game done? What happened? This game is done. You must have won. Or maybe not.
Yeah, let's see what happens. And that's that gentleman there.
Yes, you just passed by. Jivan Karamseti, which I'm pretty sure is Indian. Okay, so. And yes, so Black's going to win this season, apparently. Yeah, he just let. Chris just made a bunch of forcing, but otherwise not particularly useful moves. Now he's finding out what force really means. Oh, what a mess.
A5.
Unfortunate. Yeah,
What is that? What is that? What is A5 apropos of? I kind of like Black's play. Yeah.
so hold up. Yeah, A5 is a weird move. I wonder if that's even a mistake.
A5.
Oh, because if you take, I can play knight h5 and try to crash in. Wins the exchange. I'm not sure that's the right way to go though.
But it's also like, whoa.
Yeah, white gets all the pawns. I suspect that white should just take one of the pawns, like the a pawn.
D6.
Oh, okay, he's trying to get play.
He's here ready to go over that game.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
here,
yeah.
I'll get up.
I know. Okay, Elliot, we'll take you off. We're gonna take a look at this game with
The winner, Black.
Jivan Karamseti. Okay, come. I don't think I have your name to put down, do I, Juan? Or did we put it down? Did we put? Maybe we did. You did. Yeah. Can we find your name? No. Well, it's okay. Okay. So, congratulations. Welcome to the Mechanics Institute Chess Club.
Thank you so
This is your
much.
first game?
This is my first game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. And you're wearing a UVA shirt.
Yeah.
And I saw a lot of those
Yeah.
when I was in Virginia.
Is UVA in Charlottesville?
UVA
It
is
is,
in
yeah.
Charlottesville. And Karam's, there it is,
Yeah.
right there.
Is the name of the team the Lights? As in ultraviolet light?
No, it's so you just graduated?
Just graduated.
In what was your major? What was your?
Besides partying, of course.
I was a double major in business and computer science.
Okay. And how was your experience there?
I
Was
loved it.
Loved it all
I
the way
loved it.
through.
All the way through.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fourth year was a little extra special when our basketball team won the national championships.
Okay. All right. That's right. And that was after a very long.
A long year.
Did you
after.
play for the basketball team?
I mean, if you count my cheering on the sides, then yeah. But no, I mean, it was a great school, and then fourth year was just made even more incredible with the whole basketball.
I lived in Charlottesville for 15 years, we have to get rid of Elliot. I lived there for 15 years. I have 2 daughters and a granddaughter and an ex-wife living there.
Super cool.
So I know Charlottesville very well. What did you think of the town? Outside of UVA. I mean, UVA is huge there.
Yeah.
You haven't asked him if he's seen your movie.
I will in a minute.
The town is beautiful. I think when
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was an underclassman, I didn't have as much an appreciation for it
Right.
because I mean, you're in your dorm and you have a meal plan, so you don't get out as much.
Right.
But as I got older, I started to explore like downtown Charlottesville, like the Charlottesville Mall, and everything.
Right.
So by the time I was a third year, fourth year, my friends and I would spend a lot of time there.
Did you go home between classes?
No, so home as in
Like away from Charlottesville?
No, I didn't.
So you stayed in town for 4 years?
Yeah, so I mean, I'm from Northern Virginia, but I mean, during breaks and stuff, I would go visit family back in Northern Virginia.
Gotcha. So did you find the Charlottesville Chess Club? Did you ever find a chess club in Charlottesville?
So we had a UVA chess team that I ran there.
Okay.
And I know
you ran it?
I ran the UVA chess team.
Okay, how cool is that?
Yeah.
And did you ever go visit the Charlottesville Chess Club, which was I remember it was in a basement of a church.
Yeah. So
like most of them are.
I didn't make it out there, but I've connected with a number of people who were a part of it, who we partnered for different events, who sometimes came and played with us. So
that's very cool.
We definitely did have some collaboration here and there from people who had heard about the UVA Chess Club from other Charlottesville chess team members.
So does Northern Virginia mean like Fairfax?
Yeah, exactly. So I was from Fairfax County. Yeah.
My brother lives in.
Oh, really cool.
And so this is your first tournament game in San Francisco?
It is, yeah.
Did you play in a weekend tournament?
I didn't. I mean, I've come to this chess club. I had an internship here last summer, so I came down and checked this place out, but I unfortunately wasn't able to play an actual event.
Right.
So in terms of playing at the Mechanics Institute, it's my first time.
Okay, cool.
I didn't know where you're from, so I looked up your
your
tournament history and this chess site.
Yeah.
So one odd tournament in Maryland.
Yeah. So I play a good amount in the DMV area, and then when I can travel, but yeah.
Well, welcome to the West Coast.
Thank you.
And you started out your game. Let's look at your. You can find it on the internet. I made a film about Charlottesville, and there's also a video of me giving a simultaneous exhibition
super cool.
in Charlottesville.
Okay, I have to check it out.
Years old. Yeah, if you Google my name or whatever, you'll find it. And my movie, which is, I'm not going to recommend it for children. It's
okay.
I don't recommend it for adults either.
No, it played at the Virginia Film Festival. It was selected. It's selected into the Virginia Film Festival. It's called the Charlottesville Kitchen Killers, and you can all look it up on YouTube. And I'll probably half of you'll never talk to me again.
Well, I'll take a look afterwards.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So show us your game.
Sure.
I'll let you do the mouse thing.
Sure.
And take you.
A5, of course.
Yeah. Just go click us. We don't have a computer analysis or anything, so
no problem.
Your thoughts and what's your rating about?
2300.
Oh, you're a 2300 player. So you must have been. You were the strongest player in Charlottesville.
I believe so. In terms of rating, at least.
I outranked it when I was there, and that was I had left by when you came.
Okay.
I was like far strongest chess player.
Yeah.
So, okay, interesting. Okay. Did they hold the Virginia State Championship or anything there when you were there or anything like that?
So the high school state championships happens in Charlottesville every couple years. Okay. And so the last time it happened, it was actually my senior year of high school when I was there. And then it rotates around to a bunch of different places.
Okay.
But yeah. And
did you win the Virginia High School Championship?
Actually, that's the one tournament that I've always struggled with. I always come as first seed, and for my time in high school,
that's so funny.
That's been the one event that's always been really tricky for me. But I've been playing that event since I was in kindergarten, and I've had success from kindergarten through 8th, and then.
That event meaning the Scholastic
State Championship.
Scholastic State Championship.
Yeah.
Gee, I think I attended that and gave a simul.
Okay.
No, what I did is they hired me, and I took on all comers all day long.
Okay.
And so any kid could come and play me, and I played more chess games in that one day that I played any time ever. It was basically, I never stopped. I think I had one lunch break and played there were maybe 30 boards set up. They were always full, and I was always playing. I probably played hundreds and hundreds of chess games on that day.
Well, the Virginia chess scene, especially for in the scholastic level, is insanely strong, and in terms of both quality and quantity.
Right.
And so you go to one of these events, there's literally 1,000+ kids.
Right. Yeah. It was incredible.
Yeah.
And Judith behind us, she's one of those people that organizes those gigantic events.
Yeah.
Oh, you played at the panel?
No, I haven't played in the Pan Am, but we're talking about similar events.
Oh,
Virginia Scholastic Championships.
Yeah.
Nice. Oh, yeah.
So lead us on through your game, and we are lucky to have. I mean, we are. This club is an interesting place in that we don't. It's not like the Marshall where there's all these elite players, regularly competing.
Sure.
So we are very thankful to have strong players show up and play, and you're joining our. We're glad to have you join up and be playing here at the club.
Thank you.
In this tournament because there is a sort of a lack of the higher players. Not to mention, we love everybody,
right?
But it's nice to have a certain pool of stronger players playing. So lead us through this game.
So I was playing black here.
Right.
Traditionally, choose I either play d5 or knight f6.
By the way, there's no computer analysis, and there's no way to. Well, we just have to talk.
That's perfect. Yeah.
Okay, good.
So it was a pretty steady opening. My opponent showed up late, which is why I had a 15-minute advantage to begin with.
Okay.
It always helps.
Yeah. I mean, he ended up losing on time, so definitely contributed towards it.
Right.
But I mean, I think it was fairly standard opening.
And opening theory is my complete I can play pawn takes queen mate. But opening theory I'm really bad at.
Yeah.
I'm no longer an active player. So
yeah, I mean with black here I was pretty comfortable with my position. I mean I'm happy.
And what about knight takes d2? No comment. Is that a normal move?
I haven't played against knight f3 as much here. I'm used to playing against knight c3, and so I'm not even sure if bishop b4.
Elliot, sit down, get a chair, and join us. I'd love it if you joined us, and because Elliot's a very experienced international master, and you guys are going to have some epic. If you continue playing at the club, you're going to have some epic battles with Elliot.
Awesome.
Yeah, Elliot, you can sit in the middle.
Sure.
You can stay where you are.
Perfect.
So.
I mean, and so here, I mean, with black, I'm pretty comfortable just developing my pieces. And so, I was expecting either bishop d2 or knight d2. With bishop d2, I probably would just exchange and then play d5 or something.
Okay.
So pretty standard stuff.
Sure.
Wait, I thought this is your game?
Yeah.
Which was the game with c6?
That was another game.
Yeah, okay.
All right, so keep going.
Sure.
Do you have any international norms or anything like that? Or?
I don't. So I've started playing in some IM norm events, but it's been tricky as I've gotten older because these events are more expensive and they take up 5 days or whatever.
Sure.
So I've played in a couple, and I feel like every tournament I go to, I score about 50%. So and usually you need an extra like +1 or +2 to get the norm. Yeah. Right. But I'm working towards it.
And how much did you have to pay for your norm? No, just kidding.
I don't think there was any entry fee. I can't remember.
Yeah, those were those tournaments. Yeah, that you got. But knight d2 is as a recapture. That's what I was asking you originally.
Got it.
Is that an odd move? It looks odd to me. I mean,
one of many.
Okay.
Take back.
Yeah, I mean, I think the other option is bishop d2.
Sure.
In which case I would probably do d takes c4.
Yeah, queen takes is sensible too. Go to b4.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm just asking.
Yeah. No, I thought they were all valid moves.
Okay.
I was a little bit surprised by knight d2, but didn't didn't think of it too much. At this point, I was thinking of a few different ideas. I thought maybe I play something like eventually play b6, bishop b7, c5, something along those lines, and put my bishop there.
Well, you have to see what white does too, right?
Exactly. And so I thought start with castle, and then I can develop accordingly.
I always tell my students, start with the moves that you know you're going to play.
Right.
And then play the moves. And castle is often one of those moves that my students just avoid. They go on these wild adventures instead of castling.
Yeah.
Like castle and then find out and then get creative.
Castle as late as possible, but not too late.
Yeah.
All right.
And so when e3 was played, I was pretty comfortable now because all of a sudden his dark scored bishop is blocked by e3.
Right. And by the pawn at a3. And
the pawn of a3.
Yeah,
and so I
pawn.
figured if I eventually want to close the position or something of sorts, I'm pretty happy with this.
Right.
I feel like white doesn't have too much initiative here.
Okay.
And so I thought knight d7 followed by possibilities of e5, maybe c5, b6, c5, all these different things seem pretty good to me.
I'm always interested in the way chess masters think. That's my favorite. One of my favorite things about this job.
Yeah.
There's some very interesting. I like that move e5 too.
Yeah.
White wasted some time here with this knight recapture on g2, and black.
Yeah.
And black is seizing the initiative in the center.
Right, and all of a sudden I think, if especially playing black here, having some sort of an edge, I think, on move 8 is definitely something you want out of the opening.
That's
so,
nice.
So I was happy with this.
Right.
And so white has a couple different options here. I was expecting him to castle. If, he tried something along the lines of d takes e5, then I have knight takes e5, and of course I hit the bishop, and then I'm attacking c4.
Yeah, I mean, you're already...
Yeah. And if white plays c takes d5, then I'm going to play e takes d4, e takes d4, rook e8 check, forcing him to play bishop e2, and then it's a pretty uncomfortable position. Maybe play queen e7, and then white can't castle. And so I was pretty comfortable with this, and so I expected him to castle, letting me close the position, which I think I'm still a little...
You could probably be okay here by playing...
You should take an e5.
You could take on d4, then take on c4, and play knight b6 and knight d5, and probably have a good... Although you're opening up the position for the two bishops.
Exactly. So I thought that was fine, but I thought if I can just close this position down, keep those two bishops where they are, that would be good for me. And so I was pretty happy with all of this. And as you can tell, I've only spent a couple minutes here. These moves seem pretty natural, nothing crazy.
Right.
So I wanted to just get up on the clock as I could with this time control, especially because he doesn't get extra time later.
Right.
And so 30 minutes here is a pretty big deal, I would say.
My only question my only thought is that can white play f3 here and just start trying to open it up and try to open up the position for these bishops?
So that's what happened shortly. Pretty much take, and then he played f3.
Right. Maybe not taking first.
Maybe not taking first. Okay.
I don't know. Yeah.
So if f3 were played, I think I would have the same response.
Okay.
I would actually play, rook e8 per se.
Yeah.
And the idea is if
Same
he takes
thing.
same things exactly, just because I have that other knight that can come into f6 in case I trade knights off.
Right. So perhaps white should have had his bishop on e2. Like maybe retreating to c2 wasn't so good, because then he doesn't have to worry about you playing on knight to g4. I don't know. I'm just throwing this stuff out here.
No, I think those are all valid possibilities.
Does the bishop have any future on c2?
I think it has potential, because when you do play something like f3 and eventually you want to break through, you have some counterplay in case that diagonal gets opened up.
And rook f4, and it's double-edged.
It's a double. Yeah, I think bishop e2 would be a little more passive, and if bishop e2 were played, I probably would have tried for something like maybe even like knight e8 f5 or something, and then I would keep the bishop pressed down there.
Okay. Let's see what happened.
Yeah. So here I play rook e8, and I was debating between playing queen e7 and rook e8. If I could do it again, I probably would play queen e7 actually. And the reason for that is after rook e8, he could have made me a little uncomfortable by playing things like bishop a4, which he didn't do. But I think that in terms of mobility, just playing queen e7 would just be easier because he doesn't have that pin on my rook.
Okay.
And it does the same job, essentially.
What's happening if he just
takes and plays rook f4?
So that's what happens. So I can't take with my pawn, because if that's the case, rook f4 and my pawn's just lost.
Got you. So you support.
So I do knight takes.
Right.
You have g5.
And then you can support.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. So I play knight takes, and this was as expected. I was pretty happy here. plays knight takes, pawn takes.
Oh, you're happy here.
Right. And so maybe this was a fishing expedition. He shouldn't play that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Is the rook vulnerable on that square?
I think it's fine. I think
Okay.
I don't know what white.
He played very forcing, a lot of very
Right.
forcing.
I'm not sure
moves.
what else white can really do here. I think maybe in this situation he plays bishop a4. That would be good because you can just exchange those knights and try and get into some sort of bishop's
yeah.
endgame. And so he has that weak e3 square, but I think this knight could be better later on. So that's why I wish my queen was on e7
I see.
instead of rook e8.
Because bishop a4 might be a very good
Exactly.
move here for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was expecting that, and I'm still comfortable though in that endgame. I think.
Sure.
You know, I'm happy to play that. Rook f4. So I play knight f6. Pretty much forced there.
Yep.
Bishop e2. This is probably, I think, the first time in the game where a move didn't come like immediately naturally. There were a couple different moves that I
Sure.
was thinking could be
Okay.
fairly solid.
H5.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, a part of me was also thinking try something crazy, like play g5.
Right.
That was a little premature, which is why I didn't do it, but maybe
Sure.
even then play like knight g4, f5, and get kind of fancy there. Didn't think I needed to, just given that, once again, he's already spent an hour. I like my position, and I thought...
I was thinking, could he be dreaming of queen b1? But you have queen e7, it's not really a big deal.
Yeah, exactly. And so I just play queen d5 here, and I kind of want to relocate my queen to g5 as I did.
I like that. I like that a lot.
And when I move my bishop, I connect the rooks as well. So I was
Yeah.
happy with that. So pretty
and
much.
that's not really helping white.
Yeah. This bishop does turn out to be a good bishop for him because he places a lot of pressure on this f7
Okay,
square
then.
because I can't
Sure.
move that knight. But in terms of immediate threats, it didn't do too much.
Okay.
So I play queen g5, h4. I thought this was a possibility. I thought it was a little loose. I can see why he played it. I think it's tough to play as white, but I think that h4,
Right. Although you might want to be able to play h3 at some point and
yeah,
deny g4 the square.
Right. So yeah, I mean, look, I think that even in this situation, I don't think black is that much better, but I'm still comfortable playing black's position. I'm happy with it. So if I could choose, I would still be black here.
Okay.
Bishop e1, I can't remember.
That's Elliot just said blech. And so this a chess comment. It's a new chess comment. Blech.
I'm doing really good.
Yeah, I thought it was
Judith,
a little
have you
bit
ever
slow.
heard that one? Blech. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was a little bit slow.
Okay.
So, and I think actually the reason he plays it is if, let's say, I do something like play a6 or b5, he has this cute little move of playing h5.
Okay.
And the idea is I can't do knight takes because he
Right.
does bishop takes f7.
Right.
I can't do queen takes because queen takes, queen, knight takes queen, bishop takes f7, I lose my knight.
So why didn't he play it right away?
So he can't play it right
because
away.
you go queen g5.
Queen g5. And so the idea is when he has his bishop on e1, if he plays h5, queen
can play-
g5, bishop h4.
So that's actually a threat.
It's a threat. So I think this is an example of where
Trappy.
right, and I would say, I don't think it's the best move on the board, but in terms of trying to play a scrappy move and hopefully cause some damage,
Sure.
it's a potential. But after I play bishop g4, it doesn't really exist anymore because I can always take the h5 pawn if he plays it with the bishop now.
Yeah.
But it was. I think if I missed it, then I think white would have been much better. So I think maybe it was worth a try in the context.
Okay.
But plays queen d2. Here I was, I was thinking if he eventually plays bishop a4,
You can play b5.
I can
Just
play
get rid of-
b5. I don't think it's. I'm sure there's probably another move I should play here first that's more critical.
I always ask myself, what would Carlson play here?
If only I knew the answer to that
Yeah, well,
one.
he could answer it.
Yeah.
Well, he's got some things to do. He could-
But
Let's see what he sees.
a6 is
Right.
a bit of a rope-a-dope move to just wait and see what he's got. It does allow the white queen is going to start rampaging around.
And so I saw that coming, and I was actually okay with it. And the reason for that is the moment the queen leaves the second rank, that G2 pawn is a little bit vulnerable.
Sure.
So I figured he has 24 minutes on the clock. I'm okay making it more complicated. I don't need to be fully sound.
Right.
And so I'm okay with him going and taking my pawns. I'll put my bishop on F3, H3, whatever. And the cute thing is if I do, so eventually you'll see later I play bishop F3, his rook in a sense is trapped when that happens.
Right.
And so I don't play it immediately, but I figured I would get there eventually.
You should probably have played king F1 so that he doesn't have to play G3.
Oh, king F1.
But how's White gonna win a game if he plays moves like king F1? It's a horrible looking move.
Going back to the,
What, his queen is gonna win the game all by itself on the queen side?
C1 will get, just doesn't have to get his bishop hopelessly tied anymore.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that move just goes against my.
So
It goes- and now he's he's got that queen G5.
Yeah.
move.
He's just making moves without a plan.
Well, no, he's got a plan.
So this is a little.
All his moves are containing threats.
So I think all the it was a lot of one move threats. So now he has his queen G5 idea.
Yeah, that's an idea. Okay.
And so I play H6 and just I don't want to
squash it.
Yeah, exactly.
How disappointing that must be.
Yeah.
Maybe you should try that H5 move.
H5 in this situation?
Just to free the bishop out.
Really?
Right?
Who's a pawn?
Throw it away. So you
throw it away.
I don't know. I'm just looking
knight
at
takes
it.
H5. It just
Well, not knight takes because he plays bishop takes
F7 check.
I would do queen takes H5, and I think I'm really comfortable in that endgame because he has that E3 weakness.
Yeah.
So here he plays D5, which I don't think is the best move.
What
because
do you think is the best move?
I'm not positive. Maybe even playing something like G3 or bringing his rook out. But the problem with D5 is the main threat he has as white is this F7 weakness, and he's really tying my knight down.
It.
Yeah. So I think D5. What I should have done maybe is play something along the lines of rook E5, and then just free myself up and figure something out. Instead, I tried for this idea.
Although his bishop can go back on the go to C3.
So he can play C3, but then I would actually play bishop F3, and his queen can't come back to get it. Yeah. So it's just a lot of like loose ends, I would say, in this situation. But
and that means your king F1 is looking like a good idea to get free the bishop at E1 too. Maybe.
Yeah, and so I think rook C8. Once again, the idea is I wanted to drive his queen away and then play bishop F3, attacking everything. I think there was another idea that I had here. Yeah, so rook C8 here. So I thought maybe, if he plays something like queen D4, and I play bishop F3, and he plays queen D2.
Then you could go rook D8 maybe and start trying to pile up on that.
Yeah, it's just really... oh no, then I would actually just play knight H5. And then his rook is trapped because my bishop is now sitting on F3. And so that was the idea behind all of that.
And he can't play bishop F7 check because he's blocked his own.
Exactly.
Okay.
And so the other reason... So the other reason I didn't actually play knight H5 in this position was... I didn't play bishop F3 immediately, was because I thought, maybe G3 and then knight H5, but I was a little concerned about F7 threats. And so I figured drive his queen away where he can't protect that B3 bishop at all. And then when I do all of this, his B3 bishop doesn't do as much. If my queen takes back on F7, for example, he can no longer play something like D6 because then I just take the bishop.
I see.
So this is where I play bishop F3, plays G3. And surprisingly, I think white is actually doing okay here, even though the position's not ideal. I don't think there's any way black can just crush white immediately. And so he had 9 minutes on the clock, and so I just wanted to make it.
Yeah, that's the move that Elliot and I were puzzling about.
Just end the game?
No, because...
Queen G6,
G6
check, and D7.
Queen G6, D6, and then D7, exactly. Okay. And so he has all these like small things that...
So by playing A5, you try to distract his queen and then play it.
Exactly, so A5, so the idea is just create as much pressure as possible, so I can play things like A4, he can't do bishop takes pawn because his G3 pawn will be hanging, and so there's a lot of random threats for white, and so I just wanted to make it more complicated.
Okay, so Elliot and I were looking at what happens if he does play queen takes A5.
So then knight H5, we were thinking...
Queen B5. Let's take 2 pawns and give away the exchange.
On G3.
Oh, black plays knight
Yeah,
g3.
knight G3.
Edge, etc.
Oh,
King F2, knight H1. Yeah.
Yeah, or king h2, knight
Knight
f1.
Yeah.
Also, oh, wait, no, that's queen takes F1.
Oh, queen takes f1.
Not so fast, Mista.
But maybe knight e2 or
That's
something.
better. I mean, that's much better.
Or rook b8 first, and then,
Yeah, but I just think there's too many weaknesses for white to handle it. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So that's why, you know, I
So
figured.
how did he... Okay,
So
d6,
he
he's
plays
got to make a new
D6.
queen. Can't blame him for trying.
Yeah, no, and I think that was the best move White had. It's
Okay.
really tough for this rook on A1. He can't,
Sure.
he just can't do anything with
Right.
it. And so White doesn't have too many more plans. So I thought D6 was a good move by him. And so, yeah. And so here, I mean, like from here on out, I didn't calculate as much as I would have, and if we both had more time, I just calculated enough where I thought, 7 minutes on the clock, create more pressure, and I'm happy with it. So I figured I let the sequence of events happen where he takes b5, I take d6, he takes.
Can you play rook b8?
So I thought about that, and I figured
Yeah,
he
it's
can just
dangerous
play.
to leave the pawn. He could play d7.
Yeah.
Oh no, not d7, but I'd take the pawn too.
So if he had 50 minutes as well, then I totally agree. I probably would have thought longer here. Maybe I play rook b8 or something. But I figured let go of anything
Yeah.
that he might have. So just take the pawn.
Okay.
Then I play rook d3.
And this is starting.
This is
to
tough.
look
I think
good.
this is tough for white now. And then I play rook takes, bishop here. And so here I made a move.
He's not threatening.
He can't actually take that rook.
Right. Knight h5 runs into bishop f7 check again.
Yeah, so I'm thinking what I did do is not a great move, as we'll see in a second. But I'm trying to think of what I can do here.
Rook e2?
Yeah, honestly, just playing rook e2 and then attacking the b2 pawn. Eventually, I can play something like rook d8, rook d2, and I think this is really, really tough for white to play.
It is tough.
So I saw this cute little move, bishop e2, which doesn't actually work, I don't think. But I figured, I'm threatening now his queen.
Rook takes g3 is crushing.
Yeah, and then rook takes g3. But
It looks really
so
strong.
he has his move, bishop takes f7 that I
Right.
missed. And
Ooh, nasty.
right, and so in this situation, I it's
If king f7, queen b7, right?
yeah,
Oh, that's actually pretty dang annoying.
right, and so I have to do queen f7
Right.
instead. And at this point, he has 3 seconds left, so it was really just play something. And he plays queen f5, and
Bishop takes e3. Oh, the queen's hanging. Okay. That threatens the rooks.
yeah, and so in this situation, I actually think white is going to go up in exchange.
And with 2 pawns
And a
on the
pawn.
queen side.
So I could do something like rook g3 and
So are you losing here?
so it's interesting. I'm actually not sure. I didn't calculate this all through. So what I did play was rook here, and I thought that it would be the most uncomfortable move for him because I thought bishop e3, and I immediately played queen b3. And there's a lot of weaknesses for white, and so I figured it'd be tough for him to find the right response here, which it was,
Sure.
and he ran out of time because I have a ton of threats now. So
Queen
I have
e3, queen b2.
exactly,
He
and
can't
then
move the bishop. Well, he could move it back to f2, but
yeah, maybe he can do,
he's
Well-
up a rook.
or he's up in exchange.
Oh yeah, right.
He's up in exchange.
Yeah, he's up.
And I'm actually have things where I play something like bishop f3 and then rook d1 check. So I think I have a lot of counterplay here.
I think you do too.
And so that's why I wasn't too concerned, even though if I missed the cute little bishop takes f7 move. But yeah, I mean, maybe if white plays it, maybe he has a solid defense. That's what we started.
We don't
looking
have
for.
a computer analyst here to help us out.
That's
You're gonna
okay.
have to-
Yeah.
But your way of thinking is, what about rook e4? But then that gives the exchange back, and then you've got a raging.
Rook e4 is interesting. Oh, so not that.
Rook e4, queen b2 maybe, and keep that going. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm also thinking of ideas where I just play rook d1 check immediately.
The bishops of opposite color attack here is I think black would have something.
Oh, you know what? If he does something like. So if you
Rook e4 is interesting, says Murfinski.
Oh, I missed these chats on the side.
Doesn't bishop d3 work then?
Well, no, then he plays
rook
queen e6
b4?
check.
Oh, queen e6 check.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so rook e4 has a threat.
Is it possible to play out rook e4 here or no?
No.
Okay. Okay, no worries at all.
It's okay.
So I'm thinking rook e4, maybe even play rook d1 check.
All right, rook takes d1, I
Queen
guess.
d1.
King, I'll play king h2 just because that looks like the safest square.
Yeah. And then
Then
can I
bishop
play
d3? Oh, then he's got
No,
queen
bishop-
c8 check.
he has those checks. So I think I would actually do knight takes rook first.
Okay.
Then maybe queen takes e4, and then I play bishop f3.
And can he avoid the mate?
Oh no, but then he has
Queen
Yeah.
e8, king h7.
and then I don't think he can
Bishop
check
g1?
me again. Bishop g. Well, no, bishop g1 doesn't help because I just play queen f1. Or forget queen f1. I can just play queen c2 check.
Right.
And then I'm forced to get that g2 square.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, in a longer time control game, I think this would have been really, really interesting to think through all these combinations.
Right.
Definitely didn't.
Many moves ago, instead of rook f4, how about rook takes f7? And Lewis asks.
Can go back to that.
Yeah.
Instead of rook f4.
So what happened? He lost on time.
He lost on time there.
Okay.
Yeah. And so the other moves you may have seen on the board after that, we were just analyzing stuff, and so that may have been those extra moves after.
Kyron Griffith won. Okay. And what had just happened on board one? A draw, maybe?
Time.
They were still playing.
The game is over now.
Time.
Even off one on time?
No, he seemed like he lost.
You lost on time.
Interesting. So in this situation, instead of rook f4, he's saying
Rook
takes
f7.
f7. Interesting.
All right, I'll take it. King f7, queen h5, I guess. King g8.
Or maybe we don't take it. Maybe we play knight f6. Just to see if that works for a second, because then you avoid all.
Judith, no worries.
It was nice meeting you too. But I think rook takes f7, knight f6.
Traps the rook.
Traps the rook.
All right. Thank you
Great
very
meeting you.
much. And
Yeah.
we got to play through your whole game, and
Yeah.
now we've got your main competition in the tournament. Do you guys know each other?
I'm Jeevan. Great to meet you.
All right. We're looking forward to some really titanic struggles between all you guys. Kyron, can you show us your game? Do you have time?
Great meeting you guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Have a good one.
Eric Lee wins.
All right. We're at 10:35, and we're going to be ending the broadcast soon. But we're going to look at
Eric Lee won. That's interesting.
Kyron Griffith is sitting with me, and always a person worth talking to. Because for no other reason that he's won this tournament now twice in a row.
Yeah, I guess. I think Murfinski has the right line. I think I was losing that game. His queen f6 was losing actually, which is like insane.
Okay, let's look at the
You can actually just skip to the end game. It was like.
Let's see, where are you?
Board 4.
Yeah, we were here. Let's take us through this.
Yeah, knight takes f8. I think is winning.
Okay, wait a minute. He's just played knight e6.
I might be able to.
You played queen g3. We were looking at that. We thought that was the only move.
Probably the only move.
And now knight f8.
Yeah, knight f8. I think is at least a draw.
At least a draw.
Yeah. I mean, I have to try to draw at this point.
Right.
Like
you can push your pawn in, but
yeah. The problem is he also has queen e7, and
right.
like h7 is super hard to defend.
Yeah, and we were looking at that, and then marching up with king h5,
yeah,
but
it's super scary.
It didn't.
Eric Lee won.
Yeah, amazingly, I think queen f6 loses, which is like pretty insane.
Where was that? Where
he played it here, queen f6.
Oh, he played queen f6.
I think this is losing. Because I just played d3 and he takes the bishop with check and then he's losing.
That's incredible.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe the computer will find some insane draw, but.
And what did he play here?
He
played Queen C5.
Played Queen. Yeah, I mean, and there's nothing works though, because the problem is like, I always take H4 with check. Andy says, yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, weird stuff. This is a really yeah, it's amazing.
Computer says I'm winning. Wow. Okay, let's go.
Change the camera to the main. Yeah, I'll do that. That's a good idea, Judith. We're gonna let's see, host mobile camera off, room cam on, transition. Okay, we're in the last minutes of our broadcast. So the guy who just left the room is a 2300 player.
Yeah.
Well. So you're getting some competition. That's cool.
Good game.
That's cool.
Weird draw. Oh, black could have drawn instead of Queen G3. That's
with back here instead of Queen G3.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, it's complicated here. Maybe
King H5 now or something like that, right?
Yeah, who super
knows?
Weird. Like,
yeah.
It's like Mo's dropping this bishop, but the D pawn is like very hard to control.
So you squeaked out a tactical slugfest.
Yeah.
Was he out of time or just was unable to calculate?
No, I mean it was weird.
Yeah.
Equal on time. I think he was still up on time.
He's saying that you don't want to spoil it for you.
Yeah.
So when you get home,
take a look later.
You can take a look later. This is was it interesting? I like White kind of got into a bad opening. It's sort of a difficult, and then he just steamrolled his way in with his queen and everything.
Yeah.
Just to try to, and I'm not sure that you were so because of that. It was sort of like maybe you weren't so much better. Here I don't think it was better at all. Yeah, and so I want to ask you one more question, and that was your decision to play F5. I mean, I wasn't living the game.
It's so tempting because it forces knight F3, which looks ridiculous, but maybe
the structure that came up wasn't maybe so convincing.
Maybe I should just go knight F5 myself.
Knight F5 was the move that I was looking at.
But then he takes and goes Queen F3 and D5, like forces me to do something there.
I see.
Like there's Bishop E6, but then like F5 is in the air. I didn't think it was actually that secure.
Right. Yeah. No. I can see what you're.
I mean, it seems like F5 can't be.
F5 wasn't. Yeah. It was. Yeah.
Maybe I need to act quicker here and not let him. I really let him just like coordinate everything. I mean, I got pretty coordinated, but so did he, and then I don't think I was any better. Maybe you have to do something quicker. Hard to say.
It is hard to say. Did you play D4?
Yeah, I did. Maybe you should play D4 before F5 and kind of see where he goes.
And what happens if you play Queen D7? Oh, he's going back anyway.
Yeah, he's going knight E3.
Oh, yeah, I see. He's going back anyway. Okay.
The problem is like...
He's got a plan and he's going to stick to it, right? But maybe you can play Queen D7 and then B5?
The problem is he always has like B4 ideas
as well.
Like as soon as I play B5, he plays B4, and then like I feel like I'm a little underdeveloped there actually.
Interesting. And what about the idea of playing knight to E3 instead?
Like playing knight D5, knight E3.
Yeah. I'm just throwing it out. I'm looking at the position without any.
I mean, he's gonna play knight C4, which covers that, and then he's gonna put something on E5, and I don't think I really get control.
This looked super strong.
I don't know,
but
I don't think I'm really any better here.
Yeah.
Yeah, H4 is a good move. Actually,
he just he just steamrollered his way into your position after this.
Nothing to do.
Yeah, it was bizarre.
I don't know. Yeah, we'll have to.
Yeah, I have to go back to the drawing board on this.
See what to do.
This looked like the right idea.
Yeah, I'm actually not sure if trading off all these rooks was like helpful for him. I don't know.
Yeah, this is funny how this happened.
Yeah.
This looked very risky for white. I mean, just super duper risky. But again, he had the he just kept trying to infiltrate. Yeah.
I can play h6 here, which is a safe move. Like if he takes g6 and I get f4 with check.
Ah.
But it's kind of weird. Like he takes g6 and I get like actually I can actually go queen e1, take h4, and take f4. But then he has like knight e6 and I'm like still not even pawn up. But like I don't know.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Do you have a second to show you?
I mean, yeah. Your game was crazy.
Yeah.
He was actually after he took my bishop, he was actually lost.
Okay, we're here with we're here in the last. This is gonna be my last guest here, and that's Hosea Stearman. First I have to turn off Kyron Griffith's name here. Boom for everybody watching. And turn on the Hosea's name, and then transition, and then Hosea, lead us through your game on board 1. And we were here. We can start. I mean, we thought you had the game kind of tied up.
Yeah.
A little bit. We thought you were. You can show us from the beginning. You can go.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So this was kind of. I don't know why, but I was kind of expecting him to do the exchange Slav.
Right.
Like
every game in every game is an exchange Slav.
I was kind of disappointed, but I kind of expected it.
Is this all book?
This is book. I forgot what to do here on Queen C2, so I kind of just improvised.
Right.
I played this like.
I like the idea of putting the rook opposite the queen. I mean, this.
So I played rook C. I don't know about this B5.
I'm not sure either, but it certainly seemed to work out for you.
Yeah, because I grabbed a little bit of space on the queen side, and eventually that's kind of where my breakthrough was.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It kind of.
These positions are really hard to play. I mean,
it kind of let him develop a little bit faster than me. I had a little bit.
Murfinski says he's seen B5 before.
Okay.
Okay.
So. We kind of just like putz around a little bit.
All right.
I put this knight on c4, and I was kind of expecting him to take it.
And then go back to B1.
And go back to B1 with queen c2 ideas, and like maybe an e4. But I guess he didn't want to open up the B file, which is understandable. I thought it was interesting.
Okay.
G4 here, I mean.
Well, G4 combined with knight B1 was kind of strange.
It was strange. I thought he was going to play.
Elliot and I were not convinced.
I thought he was going to play a F4 after G4.
It's your T-shirt that's getting all the commentary now.
The Cal T-shirt.
Yeah.
So knight B1. Yeah, this knight B1, I didn't know.
And shouldn't white be sort of doubling rooks on the G file rather than the C file?
Yeah, maybe like king G1. Actually, there was. I thought there was some G5 attacking chances that he had.
I mean, I'm watching white double the rooks on the C file, going, what? Elliot and I are going, what is this about?
It was kind of weird that he doubled the rooks on the C file. I mean, he's not getting anywhere.
He's not getting anywhere with it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a negative strategy, what I would call a negative strategy. On the other hand, it's not so easy for you to figure out what to do, right?
Right. I mean, like, I didn't really have a concrete plan. So I just brought my knight over to b6. I'm kind of getting ready
for the knight d6 and knight e4, or the other comes to c4.
I wasn't really sure what the plan would have been. So I brought this bishop back to e7, and now this opened up the opportunity to play f6, which I ended up playing later.
Okay.
And so now.
And also, he's obviously not going to do. Like, he's not even trying to play bishop b1 and queen c2 or something.
I thought here. Here. After bishop d6, I thought here you could try some g5 stuff.
Okay, sure. Yeah.
And
an aggressive player you would have done that, right?
Especially since he has queen h5 at the end, like, really threatening.
You know what? Ivanov is an interesting player. He's got his own ideas about how to play chess, and a lot of the time it works out. But when it doesn't, it fails pretty spectacularly. He does not play a conventional game.
So he played his king h2, which is preparing to take back on g3 with the king, I suppose.
Okay.
Instead of with the pawn.
Okay.
So instead I played queen b8, and he had to bring his rook to g1. So now you see, like, finally he gets his rook to g1. And now actually g5 is really starting to like.
Yeah,
g5 would really be.
Okay.
So I had to play f6.
Okay.
And so now he goes to g6, we trade off. and I traded these, and I brought the knight back to d6.
I like it.
To take over the c file.
Take over the c file.
Yeah. So he played this knight d2, and I actually had my hand over the piece. I almost took on c2, thinking after bishop takes c2, rook c8, he has to move the bishop away, but he has queen d3, and then I'm getting mated.
Right, unless you play. Well,
I mean, I'm not gonna get mated, but
right. Yeah, but that's you don't want to move his pieces to where they want to go.
Exactly.
Right.
So I blocked it up again, and I mean at this point he has like 2 minutes left, so a lot.
So you can kind of run him out.
Yeah, I kind of ran him out.
And he's moving back and forth.
Yeah, he's just moving back and forth. So now I triple.
This is a nice position for black.
So here he actually has his. Oh shoot.
That's okay.
Let's see here. Oh yeah, I moved.
The wrong game.
Okay, so here he actually has his queen c2 set up, but now I brought my knight back to d6 to counter with knight e4.
Okay.
So now he got.
Also, it's not exactly mate.
Yeah, it's not mate. Like I'm gonna go king f7.
Right, but you do have knight e4.
Yeah, I have knight e4 here, and then I brought the queen in. It actually got kind of interesting because he played rook f4 with his stacking idea.
Okay.
And here maybe I should have just taken. Maybe, I don't know.
You found another move?
Oh, okay, rook c3.
Okay.
And he's forced to give up the. I think this is good enough. Yeah.
Yeah, especially with the passed pawn.
Yeah. I thought here he should have taken b5 with the bishop. Instead, he played bishop f5, which is kind of going for mating ideas.
But now he's.
But with my king going to e7 to the queen side, he's not getting anything done.
Okay, good game. Youth and experience that played out over age and treachery. Congratulations, man. Yeah. There's going to be the tournament, Kyron Griffith joined, but also this other chess player.
Yeah, Kevon.
What's his name?
Jerem Seti.
Yeah. He joined too, and he's at 20. So the field got stronger.
Yeah.
Which is good. Good. We want to give you some competition, Josiah, and don't want. Before Kyron joined the tournament, I was like, oh, it's going to be Eric Lee and the Josiah Stearman show. But now I'm not so sure.
We'll see.
There's always the old dogs too.
Excuse me.
So this one old dog was just curious. How's Christian doing against?
He was tweeting.
He played a forceful game and flagged.
Yeah, he just flagged.
Okay, how's he standing at the end?
I think he was.
He was lost at the end. It was unclear, but he was under a lot of pressure. All right, folks, that ends the Tuesday night marathon broadcast for tonight. Join us next week. I won't be hosting. We're not sure who will be hosting, but then I'll be back after 1 week. So for all the people who work here at the Mechanics Institute Chess Club, I'm going to say goodnight and good night. The time control is 2 hours with a 5-second delay. 2 hours per person with a 5-second delay. Join us next week at the same time, 7:30, and when we begin our broadcast. Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna say goodnight, everybody, and leave you with a visual history of the Mechanics Institute Chess Club. I wish we could keep the building open all night, too. Good night.